It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
And here we go. Welcome in to another edition of Rothman and Ice. I'm Matty Ice. Got my man CB on the board doing his thing. And to my left, I got a former Buckeye and a national champion by the name of Tyvis Powell, the people's champ. T, happy Monday. How you feeling, big dog?
You know what? I'm feeling good. I told you about my little incident this weekend. It was a big fight.
Yeah.
Big fight this weekend. I don't know if our listeners are into boxing, but it was a big fight between Gervonta Tank Davis versus Frank Martin. I get into bed at 10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
It's night at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
So the dilemma with these boxing fights is, they like to wait till 11:30, midnight, stuff like that. So I had to find a way to stay active because I'm used to being asleep at this time. So I'm walking around, doing stuff around the house, trying to stay awake. I make it to the fight. My friends asked me before the fight, they say, Tyvis, what round, because I've been winning lately, y'all. I've been winning lately on betting sides. They say, what round will Tank win? And I said, you know what? I think he's going to win in the 8th.
Okay.
And sure enough,
what happened?
Tank won in the 8th.
Knocked him out in the 8th.
Man, listen, but where I messed up is...
You didn't cash in. You didn't cash in. Please tell me you got a little bit of coin out of this.
Maddie, I messed up because you know how you get greedy sometimes?
Yeah, that's me.
You get to feeling yourself like, you know what?
I'm on a hot streak.
Yeah, I could do no wrong. Yeah, that didn't. I got that one right. It was a parlay that I put together. I got 1 out of 3 correct. So yeah, it's unfortunate.
That's the world of betting. That's tough. But you have been sending me screenshots over the last few days of your MLB parlays, and you have been cooking in that realm.
You know what? I should be an analyst. I think I know the game right now.
You're on it, man. You're absolutely. What was the juice on the 8th round knockout for Tank? If that would have hit, what was the juice on that?
Plus 900.
Ooh. That's tough. That's tough. We live and we learn.
I know. You know what?
We live and we learn. We live and we learn.
From now on, I'm putting them separately. I ain't even about to parlay nothing.
Hope everybody listening had a good weekend. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy belated Father's Day to
Thank you. I
Happy
appreciate that.
Belated Father's Day to all the fathers listening. Appreciate everything you guys do. Had a good weekend with my pops up in the Toledo area. We went to the Mud Hens game.
Okay.
On Saturday. That's the AAA affiliate for the Detroit Tigers.
I know who it is.
So we were in the building for that, had lunch, did church, did the whole thing yesterday. So, yeah, my weekend was great, man. Weekend was awesome. Speaking of, before we get to, because I had a nice little betting weekend that I'll share with you here in a second. Coming up on the show today, 12:33, we'll talk all things Buckeye football with Bill Landis. He's from the Kings of the North podcast, 12:48, as we do every Monday. We'll do Party Like a RothStar, and then at 1:33, we will talk to Ben Brown, who covers the NFL for ESPN Bet. And just a reminder, if you ever miss anything from the Rothman and Ice show, wherever you get your podcast, type in Rothman and Ice. All of our interview segments and a lot more will be waiting for you. So coming out of the weekend, we have a new major champion in the world of golf.
Yes.
Bryson DeChambeau won the U.S. Open. Last Monday, I sat here and picked Bryson to win.
Did you really?
At 18-1. So here's the thing, though.
Oh, man.
When I placed the bet,
here we go.
I got him at 18-1.
Okay.
But I believe on Wednesday, it jumped to 20-1. So there was a little bit more juice, a little bit more meat left on the bone, but I did get that right. So I'll put a little pinky on my back right now. I'll pat myself on the back just a little bit for that one. Because I picked the Gala at the Memorial, and he was just okay. But, yeah, Bryson got it done. Rory, we got to pour one out for our guy, AR. He loves Rory.
I know.
And
it's
Rory,
unfortunate. It's just unfortunate.
It really is.
He had a shot at this thing.
It's the live song right here.
You ain't right. You ain't right.
Let's see if he always fires it up. But a live boy gets it done. So we got to pour actually 2 out for AR because a live guy wins a major, and his guy, who he absolutely loves, was so close to getting it done. And he's had so many top 7, top 5 finishes at that tournament.
What, he missed a par shot?
Yeah,
right?
it was tough, man. He was right. He can't get over the hump.
It's like he got to put 4 consecutive days together. It's like it's always one day where he just falls off the cliff. He either going to start off too slow and then pick it up at the end and just not going to have enough, or he going to get to the end and miss a putt.
It's one of those things that has to be haunting him at this point, right? It's like, like the Buffalo Bills, how they continue to get to the Super Bowl, got so close, and never won. Rory's that guy. He has major win. He just can't get another one. It's been so long.
The Bills were worse.
That's 4 in a row.
I apologize to any Buffalo Bills fans out there, but that's
sick stuff.
4 in a row and you can't get one?
Yeah, that's absolutely tough.
But you're burying the lead because what really was highlighted after the round yesterday, when it concluded, Rory got out of there. Like, within 35 minutes, got in that Lexus that's provided to all the players, got on his private jet, was heading back to Florida within under 40 minutes. I know you would probably love to do that if you were in his situation. It's an early tell the truth, but would you, in kind of like a collapse format like that, would you just get out of town real quick?
Here's the thing. To me, it has to be so tough, I think, emotionally at that point to calm yourself down and sit there and take it. Mm-hmm. But when you are a pro, that's what you have to do. So the fact he doesn't do this all the time. He doesn't do this all the time. So I'm willing to give him some grace with this one. But I have to admit, it wasn't a great look. And I know Scott Van Pelt talked about it on his SportsCenter show and how he may, that will be part of this story is not only, him letting this major slip away, but also you exiting the premises the way you did so quickly is not the greatest look. So I always like to give athletes right after a tough loss a little bit of wiggle room, right? At least because sometimes you either get this where guys just run out of there and don't talk to the media, or on the flip side of it, you get the guy that hops on the microphone and talks a little spicy and has some spicy things to say.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
And these guys are human, so I like to try to remember that, but I have to, if I'm with the people that think that that's a tough look for Rory.
I actually had a similar situation like this. So we was playing, this is when I was playing for San Francisco. Okay. And the Willie Beeman story happened for me where I was third string safety for that game, and our first string safety went out, our second string safety went out. Next thing I know, they said, Tyvis, you in the game. Right. But they had told me all week, don't worry about safety, you're going to be a corner this game. So I hadn't really been paying attention to the safety stuff. But I knew it, but I wasn't paying attention to exactly what Arizona was doing from a safety standpoint. Anyways, I make a couple of good plays in the game. Yeah. We ended up losing. They threw the game winner to Christian Kirk. I'll never forget. That's why I'll never say nothing negative about Christian Kirk or Josh Rosen.
When he was with Arizona.
Arizona. Back of the end zone, game on the line. Boom, hit him on the dig in the back of the end zone. On me, touchdown. So I'm thinking to myself, it's over with. They going to fire me. I might not make it home. They going to fire me at the stadium. So we get into the locker room, and the PR people like, Tyvis, I know you hurt right now, and I know you down, but the reporters come up to talk to you. We need you to not talk about how you make sure that you say that the coaches had you prepared and everything, blah, 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 blah. So I'm sitting there thinking to myself, that's a lie, but okay. But I was mad because I didn't want to talk to him. I'm just trying to get on the bus. I really don't want to say nothing to nobody. But at the end of the day, I got to be a professional.
Right.
Luckily, they didn't come up to me. They didn't ask me anything. So I got out of there and right on time. Like when the reporters opened it up, I'm fully dressed because I'm like, come on, hurry up. I'm gonna answer a couple questions and I'm gonna get out of there. Luckily, they didn't come to me and ask me no questions, so I was able to get out there and escape. But I was ready to I calmed myself down enough because you got to be a professional at some point in that situation.
You got to eat it, right? It's tough.
It's the truth. Like, I messed up. Yeah, I did. I wouldn't blame nobody else.
In the NBA, I know they get fined for not talking to the media. The same in the NFL?
Yeah.
Okay, if you got to talk to the media. So in golf, I don't think that's the case, but we shall see if anything comes from that.
He's going to get a little deduction off his check that he won't.
He won't be hurt.
No, he's fine.
He's hurting emotionally, but in his pockets, he'll be fine. But the biggest story is congrats to Bryson DeChambeau winning his second U.S. Open, won the U.S. Open back in 2020. I may have buried the lead. Am I looking at the gold pants today? Is that an official pair of the gold pants today?
Usually I keep my stuff tucked in.
No, that looks good. Okay, I've never seen it. I've never seen
I actually
them
thought I lost
in
them
person
today.
Oh, that would have been terrible.
You know what? I got to tell you about. I actually was mad at you this morning.
What did I do?
And you had nothing to do with the situation, but I was so mad at you today.
What did I do?
Listen, we got time. So listen, I went to the gym today.
Okay.
And it's a leg day for me.
Mondays are leg days.
Yeah, so I wanted to use the Smith machine to do squats. You know, the Smith machine, a little safer, just in case something bad happened. You could just and the thing it'll catch yourself. So I do my mile lap around the track. Okay, I go somebody's on the Smith machine. He's doing like incline bench. I respect it. Go in there, I start stretching. You know, I stretch for a good 10 minutes because I'm old now. I'm 30 now.
Feel you on that.
So I go stretch, and I come out, dude still. Now, at this point, like, it's been like 40 minutes. This dude's still on the Smith machine. But what I thought about you is he had a Cincinnati Reds hat on, bent, and it was cocked down. And he looked like you.
So you thought I was holding you up?
I was about to walk over there and go, Maddie, what's up with you, bro? Like, can I get that? So, yeah, I was mad at you for a good 45 minutes today.
Wait a minute, what did I do?
You had nothing to do with it, but this dude looked just like you.
With the Reds hat and everything.
With the Reds hat.
Because you know I got about 4 or 5 Reds hats that I put in rotation. But no, I haven't been to the gym yet. That'll happen after the show. I was actually thinking about doing a workout outside.
You should get up and
today.
Get it over with. Oh, no. If you go outside, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to lose a good 10 pounds.
I think I need to sweat out some stuff from this weekend, though. I think that needs to happen.
You had a good weekend.
Because this week, coming up, it's going to be real outside.
If you getting the tan that you want, and if you wanted to lose some weight, you better make sure you outside.
This is the week. This is absolutely the week. A lot coming up on the show today. We're going to have a lot of fun. Again, hope you guys had a great weekend. Happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Coming up, it seems like all the off-season drama has been put to bed for the Bengals. What should happen next? We'll give you our take after the break. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
The only show where sports talk is eclipsed by food talk. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan.
If you're about to get engaged or ready to walk down the aisle, your true love deserves a true jeweler, the Diamond Seller. As a true jeweler, we not only have designer collections to meet your bridal needs, but we also have talented in-house designers who can create something truly one of a kind. Visit the Diamond Seller today.
At Metal Supermarkets, we're all about getting you and your crew to quit in time sooner. That's why our service is a cut above. You see, no matter the project, we'll get you to the right metal, shape, and grade. Cut to any size, ready real fast. And yeah, we'll deliver. Leaving plenty of time for the important things, like opening an ice-cold can of aluminum. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience store for metal.
Big things are happening on the East Side.
We're ready to deal. Come negotiate during May's Dealin' Days at Lindsay Honda. Lower payments, better financing, more value for any trade. Shop lindsayhonda.com and see new Hondas with thousands in savings plus many other deals. We'll work hard to get you a payment you can afford. Now during May Dealin' Days at Lindsay Honda.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference.
See lindsayhonda.com for program details.
Skyline is turning up the heat this summer with Hot Met Cheese Conies, made with a premium Hot Met sausage from Queen City Sausage. But don't wait. Hot Met Conies are only at participating Skyline restaurants for a limited time. Come get yours today. Nothing makes being outdoors better than having the right gear and the right crew. So here's an idea. Let Mountain Dew supply the gear and you bring the friends. Because when you buy specially marked multi-packs of Mountain Dew, you can collect points and earn epic limited edition outdoor gear. We're talking everything from custom Mountain Dew camp chairs and backpack coolers to exclusive Mountain Dew tents, fishing boats, and more. So buy Dew, collect points, get gear, and get outside with Mountain Dew outdoor gear.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18+, subject to program terms at DewOutdoors.com and 12/31/24, void or prohibited.
See some football players try to play softball? Join us for Schmidt's Cardale Jones charity softball game.
Why picnic when you can schmicknick? And presented by Monogram Homes and the U.S. Air Force. The Fan.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect that water is the reason parts of your concrete have gotten so uneven. Walkway tripping hazards, sinking pool deck, cracked driveways are dangerous threats to everyone's safety. But there's one way to learn how your concrete can be lifted. A free home inspection from Ohio Basement Authority. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at ohiobasementauthority.com.
Raising Cane's iced tea is the official iced tea of me, iced tea. Now, I've heard some people don't order iced tea with their box combos. I've also heard some people spontaneously combust. Sip on that for a while. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
This is attorney Robert Scherger, and I want you to remember one thing. We're the legal army that goes to war for you. Call us now at 877-WAR-FOR-YOU. It's time to know your rights and get the results you deserve. WarForYou.com.
Do you know someone struggling to figure out their mental health benefits? The Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office is here to help. Find us at insurance.ohio.gov/GETMHIA or call us at 855-438-6442. Don't wait. The Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office can help you figure out what mental health insurance benefits may be in their plan. Call us today at 855-438-6442.
Do you have foot pain? Foot pain is not normal regardless of your age or job. Podiatric physicians are the most qualified doctors to care for your feet and can provide important foot care solutions or shoe inserts to better manage foot pain. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care. We've been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years. To find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit associationsadvanceohio.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Going 95 for the high temperature later on this afternoon. A lot of sunshine, but there will be a few rounds of showers and thunderstorms. As we go into tomorrow, look for highs again around 95, 96. Heat indices up over 100. And then by Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, highs will be between 95 and 100. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your Doppler 10 forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
It's Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, welcome back in. Matty Ice got the former Buckeye national champion Tyvis Powell filling in for AR today. You know, you mentioned you saw somebody at the gym that you thought was me with the Reds hat on, and you were mad at me for holding up the rack. That way you couldn't get to your workout. How do you feel about our producer, a Guardians fan, rocking a Reds hat today?
You know,
how does that play in your
I was going to let it slide, but since you went there, I can't believe that he did that. Like, I've been double taking him like 3 times. I looked at him 3 times.
Do you actually have animosity to the Reds as a Guardians fan?
No, I don't. But you being a Guardians fan, like, first, like, you all Guardians out, and now here you are with the Reds. Like, that's, I
am, and the Guardians will always come first, especially when they play each other. But I also support the Reds as I live closer to Cincinnati so I can go to games easily.
See, I support the Reds as well. But at the same, but you know what? This is the problem. And this is a problem that a lot of people in the world make, okay? I keep thinking that everybody's like me. And he's not like me. See, me, I'm only wearing one hat.
That's it.
Ever. Ever. I went to Ohio State. I won't wear no State hat, nothing. I'm only going to wear a Guardians hat to the day I die. So I don't know why I'm upset at you for wearing the Reds hat.
Yeah, I think the only way I'm wired is that I won't wear anything, obviously, like Rivals.
There you go. That's why.
Attire type
that's why
stuff.
I'll give him a pass on this, because if it was White Sox, Tigers, Royals, Twins, that's when I'm like, a division rival, that to me I think's out of bounds. If you want to support an in-state team that's not in your division, especially with it's the City Connect hat. I mean, that might be the best hat between the
It's one of my favorite City Connect uniforms out there.
The Guardians have a City Connect hat.
Okay. I don't love it as much.
It's okay. The City Connect uniform is...
Hey, every time they wear it, they be winning. So,
and I feel like I see him in it all the time.
That's why
they're being superstitious.
I told you, we talked to Mike Cheerdoff on the Cleveland show, and he said, "Yeah, we gonna continue to rock those City Connect."
Not mad at it. Guardians off today. They come back tomorrow. The Reds take on Paul Skenes and the Pittsburgh Pirates tonight. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's go down to Cincinnati. Speaking of the Cincinnati area, the drama, Tyvis, it seems to be over. At least for now.
I mean,
for now, it seems to be over, because this weekend we found out that T. Higgins officially signed his franchise tag, which is going to pay him right around $21.8 million. They have until July 15th to get a long-term deal done. It doesn't seem to me.
I'm about to say that the 15th going to come and go, and they still going to be in the same spot. So.
I don't think that's happening. And it's funny because we've seen this front office the last 2 off seasons not flinch at any request. Remember Jonah Williams? He had his situation. He wanted out. He wanted a whole new deal.
Yeah,
and then
they ended up getting like a left tackle. And he said, yeah, I'm done.
He's done. They brought in Orlando Brown. He slid over to right tackle, and that's pretty much all she wrote. This offseason, we had TreVeyon Henderson for a little bit of time. Want to come back to the table after he recently restructured his deal. And guess what happened? He circled right back around, and he was at OTAs. And now here we are with T. Higgins, who did a similar thing. And for T, I completely understand because with what you've made in your career, this is your first grab at, let's say, generational money. $21.8 million is amazing money, right? Now, in the NFL world, we know what the players want. So I'm with you. I think what's going to have to happen here is he's going to have to play on this deal for this season in 2024 and just hope that he can get to the finish line cleanly. And on the other side of that, T, it feels like he's going to have to be playing elsewhere to get the money that he wants, unless he wants to take a major discount in Cincinnati, which we know he's not going to do.
So T. Higgins his situation is unfortunate, and there's a lot of people that fall into this situation, which is why people hate franchise tags to begin with, is because there's no stability. You're not safe. If something happens to him this season, injury-wise, it's done. He'll never really be able to hit. He'll have to do a 1-year prove-it deal and then hopefully go crazy that year to hit the money that he really wants to hit. But this year, it's nobody's going to leave the money on the table ever again. Like Le'Veon Bell did it the 1 year, and everybody's seen the result that happened afterwards. Yes, he went to the Jets and got paid, but he was never the same. You know, and taking a year off can be difficult. So I knew that he was going to play this season. I think that for T, I think he really wants to play for Cincinnati, to be honest with you, because you got Joe Burrow, you got Jamar Chase, you got a winning culture there that you actually helped build. So you want to live it out. You want to get to the Super Bowl again and right that wrong in the Super Bowl with your guys. But at the same time, you also want to get paid, and I understand that as well. I think that it's a little bit his fault, a little bit from last year, because he started off the year so slow. He dropped a lot of passes at the beginning of the year. Now, he's had moments, you know, when Jamar went down and he was clearly the number one, he made some plays. But if you want to be a true number one, you have to be that guy all 17 games. Like, they got to be able to depend on you. And I just think at the beginning of the season last year, them drops and him getting locked up a couple of times did not help his cause.
They say timing is everything. And unfortunately for him, I mean, personally, he can look at the front office and say, you guys drafted too well because you guys got Jamar Chase in here, and that's a roadblock to my money, because obviously we know if Jamar Chase wasn't in the equation, this would be a moot point. They would be willing to pay him as I think is one of the highest paid receivers in the league.
I don't know about that.
Well, I think if Jamar wasn't there, I think they would go down the road.
I don't think he would get
25 to 30. I'm not talking Justin Jefferson. I'm talking like the AAVs of 20.
Okay.
25, maybe 30 a year.
Jamar
wasn't there. I mean, he's been a 1,000-yard guy 2 out of the last 3 years with Jamar in the equation. So you got to think, if you get, I don't know what, 40, 50 more targets coming your way, the numbers and the production, I think, will go through the roof. So it's just tough, right? It's the job of the front office to draft well, which the Bengals have done in spots. But when you have these type of situations pop up, you know, somebody's going to miss out on some coin, and that seems like it's going to be T. Higgins, at least coming from Cincinnati's bank account. I want to play a piece of audio for you and get, you know, a player/teammate perspective. This is Adam Schefter and Dan Orlovsky talking about the T. Higgins situation going into the 2024 season and how it may play out.
And I will say, questions about T. Higgins, because he's going to the last year of his contract.
But he wants money.
He's not going to get the money.
But he's going to get it from someone.
Okay, right. So what's going to happen middle of the season if and when his knee's creaky, his hamstring's tight, his shoulder sore? Is he playing through those injuries weeks before he becomes a free agent? Or is he going to be making a business decision?
But here's the thing, Chef.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. You got to go get you think a team is randomly going to pay you if you're not healthy? What you want?
Absolutely. He's getting paid.
No.
Oh, Chef's getting paid.
Chef,
wow.
If he goes and plays the way that T. Higgins has, You're going to tell me if T. Higgins 6 or 7 weeks in, and I don't want to even put that out in the universe. I want to say if he plays.
How many times have we seen this play out? I'll go back to Jarris Byrd, a safety in Buffalo, where he had all kinds of injury issues, becomes a free agent. New Orleans makes him the highest paid safety in football. Somebody, no matter what season T. Higgins has, is going to pay him.
So you've been in these locker rooms. Shefty's side of things is he's not speaking for T, because this is one of those situations where it's hard to jump into the mind of a guy, right? The mind of an athlete. But have you been around situations to where guys are in a contract year and maybe a nick pops up with a hammy knee, whatever it may be, and they say, you know what? I'm good. I'm going to take my foot off the gas a little bit. What do you think about that back and forth you just heard?
No, I think, first of all, I think Shefty's right on this. I think that no matter what, somebody's going to pay him unless he gets one of those, like he tears an ACL, knock on wood. Hopefully that never happens to him. Hopefully, I want him to have a very productive season so he can go out there and make this whole thing easy for everybody. But if he did sustain like a season-ending injury, that's the only thing I think can harbor him not getting money from another team. I don't think he'll get into a situation where if he feels a little banged up or something like that, he won't go. Because I think at the end of the day, these are still my boys. These are still the guys that I grew up with in the NFL. We've done something special together. It's not like they're not saying that they don't want me to get paid. Like, they actually, I want everybody to get paid. I want everybody to get taken care of. And we talked to Von Bell a couple weeks ago, and Von was explaining how everybody is really tight and everybody's close. So if that's the case, I don't think he's going to necessarily make a business decision. I think his job is to go out there and play. If he's available and he can go, is to go out there and play and be productive. Because at the end of the day, you'll still get rewarded for that.
No question. Real quick, before we go to break, if you're the front office for the Cincinnati Bengals, would you hand Jamar Chase the exact contract, or matter of fact, let's say the exact contract Justin Jefferson got? 4 for $140 and $110 guaranteed.
Man, that's a lot of money. He's up there. I wouldn't give him that. I slight him a little bit.
So like 90 get fully guaranteed,
something like that. Because
it's going to be similar.
It's a durability. He misses a couple of games a year. Justin Jefferson, I guess he did miss a lot of games last year, but productivity-wise.
But he came back. Justin Jefferson towards the end.
Productivity-wise, I mean, he's got every stat beat for a wide receiver in his first 4 years.
It's ridiculous.
I think. It's
and
unbelievable.
Just think about it. They were on the same team.
I know.
That 29, man. We need to get that. Could we put the Tyvis Powell, those Buckeye defense against that unit in 2019?
We would have found a way. We'd find a way.
That would have been must-see TV.
We'd found a way.
Right there. Speaking of Buckeye football, Bill Landis from Kings of the North podcast hops on next to talk about the offseason and what's ahead in 2024. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
The Columbus Men's Clinic opened in 2014 for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken. But when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At the Columbus Men's Clinic, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for a decade. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. You'll be seen by our friendly, discreet physician who will take the time to listen. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. Imagine going from feeling gray to living life in vibrant color. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 614-300-7400 or go to ColumbusMen'sClinic.com to schedule a $99 male performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. ColumbusMen'sClinic.com. Book your appointment now.
The Ohio Egg Fest is back for its 10th year, presented by Specialty Gas House and Buckeye Cruise for Cancer. Join us for this big green egg grilling competition at Fortress Obetz on Saturday, July 27th. Enjoy all-you-can-eat food from 36 cook teams, live music from North to Nashville, cooking demos, giveaways, and more. Don't miss out on discounted big green egg grill packages with over $600 off retail and a lifetime warranty. Pre-order online at theohioeggfest.com today. Before they sell out, all proceeds benefit cancer research at the James. Get your discounted big green egg grills and your taster tickets now at theohioeggfest.com.
The Buckeye Show.
I'd like to know where Lou Holtz is right now. I mean, I'm sure he's in bed.
I tell you what, Ryan, you better not be saying those things about me. I'll get you.
The Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by CareSource.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
Hey, it's Anthony here for the Bath Authority. You spend a ton of time in your bathroom, and if you're trying to ignore your old, outdated bath or shower or that mold and mildew along with the broken tiles, you gotta call my friends at the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products along with a world-class customer experience. And all Bath Authority products are 100% made in the USA, and they can be installed in as little as 1 day by certified factory technicians. TheBathAuthority.com. A better bath awaits.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. If you listen to my show every day, congratulations, you're getting the best. Now I want you to drive the best. But unlike the lie I told before, Jermaine Lexus really is the best. I just picked up my brand new RX 350 a few weeks ago. It is fabulous. They want to make you a customer for life. Right now, rates are as low as 1.9%. Lease payments are as low as $489 a month. And the Memorial Courtesy vehicles are now on the lot. Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. Check them out online, JermaineLexus.com. Tell them Common Man sent you.
Hey there, business ballers and entrepreneurs. Ready to make your financial dreams come true? Well, get ready to score big with SwishFunding.com, the slam dunk solution for all your business funding needs. Just like that satisfying swish when the ball goes in, SwishFunding.com guarantees you a seamless funding experience. Working capital, expanding your business, upgrading your equipment, or even covering payroll. If you have at least $25,000 in monthly revenue and been in business for at least 1 year, qualifying is easier than a layup. At Swish Funding, we fund up to $5 million in 24 hours. SwishFunding.com's team will guide you every step of the way. No more banking red tape, just quick, decisive action to get you back in the game. Head over to SwishFunding.com and slam dunk your financial goals today. Remember, it's not just a shot in the dark, it's a surefire swish. Go to SwishFunding.com. That's SWISH funding.com. SwishFunding.com.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
A perfect afternoon parlay. This is Rothman and Ice.
That it is. Welcome back in. Matty Ice, Tyvis Powell. Going to bring on one of our favorites right now, Bill Landis from the Kings of the North podcast. Talking some Buckeye football with him right now. Bill, hope you had a good weekend, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well, yeah. Had a very good weekend. Hope you guys did too.
Appreciate that, man. Thanks so much for your time. Let's start with probably what will be the headliner, for the next few weeks until we get to the bottom of August in game number one, the quarterback position. I want to ask you about Will Howard and how much higher of a ceiling do you believe Will Howard has versus some of the things that we saw from Kyle McCord a year ago?
Yeah, it's a hard question for me to answer because, we haven't seen Will Howard perform with the kind of talent that he's going to have around him at Ohio State. And, I do, a lot of people say that, and I think when we do, Kansas State does get shortchanged a little bit. They're a good program. It's not like he was working with nothing. They had a good offensive lineman. They had a good run game. He just didn't really have this kind of receiver talent around him. So that is going to bring out, I think, a different level in any quarterback. So when you think about that, when you combine his experience playing at Kansas State, which is, far more substantial than Kyle McCord's was going into last year, and even still greater than Kyle's would have been going into this season. I think that matters tremendously. And then, he can run too, and Kyle didn't do really any of that. So I think that adds another element to the offense. So it's hard for me to say exactly how much higher the ceiling is, right? It could be slightly higher, or it could be, considerably higher. I think there's a chance for it to be considerably higher when you combine Will's traits, his experience with the talent on hand, and some of the things that he's able to do that, frankly, just Kyle McCord is not able or willing to do. I think he stands a chance to be somewhat better than what Kyle was last year. But I also I'm not convinced entirely that he needs to be for Ohio State to be successful and to accomplish its goals. Obviously, it would welcome the opportunity to have a quarterback like that. But I think maybe the biggest thing that Will Howard gives you is just sort of like a steady hand guy who's kind of seen it all, who has won and lost big games and just sort of understands what it is to compete at the highest level as a college football player. And I think you want that with the way that Ohio State's roster is constructed with all the experience they have at other positions.
Bill, when you look at the defensive side of the ball, particularly your edge rushers, you got JT coming back and you got Jack Sawyer coming back. Now, at the end of the year, obviously in the Cotton Bowl, Jack Sawyer went absolutely crazy. Do you think he has the better season this year, or do you think Jalen Tuimoloau puts it all together for 17, 16, 17, 12, 5, whatever the number may be games this season?
Yeah, I mean, if you're asking me who I think's going to have more sacks, I would say Jack. I think Jack will outshine JT a little bit in sack production. And I know that's sort of the easy metric to determine whether or not a defensive end has had a good season. I would say with Jack and JT both, they probably don't get enough credit for how good they are against the run. They probably don't get enough credit for the way that they affect passers, even if they ultimately aren't getting the sacks that people hope they would. But I think both of them are going to make pretty big jumps this year. But I think maybe from like a pure kind of pass rushing chops perspective, I would favor Jack slightly over JT. Although walking around the Woody, the last week at these camps and seeing JT walk around, he's in incredible shape. He looks like he's even dropped a little bit more weight. Not that I thought he was overweight to begin with, but maybe he's even a little quicker this year. I don't know. So I could see either one of them leading the team in sacks, but if you're asking me to pick one right now, I would definitely pick Jack.
Bill Landis from the Kings of the North podcast is joining us talking some Buckeye football via the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Bill, let's stay on defense. I want to kind of get your gauge on the linebacker unit and what type of production you think those guys are going to be bringing to the field on Saturdays. Now they have Coach James Laurinaitis getting those guys right throughout the week. Yeah, I mean the group, just like if James were to like line them all up, you would look at the group and it's like, man, there's a bunch of freaks out there. Like just like height, weight, speed, the way they can move, the explosivity that really all of them bring to the table. Maybe Cody Simon's a little different in sort of build, but he's a pretty good athlete in his own right. I think they're going to be a really good group this year. The thing that I'm uncertain of and most curious about is how many guys James is going to play at the position. We know that Jim Knowles the last 2 years has been pretty rigid with that. It was basically just 2 guys in his first year, and last year, partly because of some injury stuff, he kind of expanded that to 3 guys with Cody working in there with Steele and Tommy. I get the sense from James that he would like to expand that even more and maybe play, 4 or 5 guys at that position. Maybe you package them up a little bit depending on skill set and situational stuff within the game. But I think with like the athleticism of Sonny Styles and C.J. Hicks and Gabe Powers combined with kind of like the steady hand and know-how and experience of Cody Simon, I really think this stands a chance to be the best group of Ohio State linebackers we've seen in a few years. And the position's been very good the last couple of years, but I don't know that the ceiling has been this high. Now, will they ultimately reach that ceiling this year? Maybe not, because there are a lot of young players in there, and Sonny is like switching positions. I don't want to be dismissive of how difficult that is, but I think the ceiling is incredibly high for that position, and I think that's a position group where maybe there's some question marks because the rest of the defense seems so solid, but I think that group's going to answer those questions as well.
Bill, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit, and I'm not giving you a lot of time to think about this question. Last year, the defense outshined the offense, I'd say. The year before that, the offense was the strength of this team. Coming into this year, both sides have added people or coaches to this staff. Who has the torch at the end of this year? Who's the strength of the team, offense or the defense?
I think it's got to be the defense, and maybe
great answer.
Maybe that. Yeah, I know you'd like that one. I think maybe the gap between the two maybe is not quite as wide as it was coming off of last season, but I still think that the defense is a thing that's going to lead this team. I have essentially no questions about the secondary. I think it's the best secondary in college football. I don't really think it's a particularly close conversation with anybody else. We talked about the linebackers, and I think this defensive line, the first 4 are great, and I really like the depth they have behind them too. There's a lot of unproven guys there, so you're projecting a bit I'm projecting a bit when I say that, but I really do think that this is going to be the best defense in college football this year. And while I believe that the offense is going to be better, especially running the football, and be championship caliber, I think, I still believe that the defense is going to be the thing that is the front porch of this team, so to speak.
Let's talk about this wide receiver room, and I'm going to throw this at you, Bill. Where do you think Jeremiah Smith will stack up, let's say, in a list of guys when we talk production in 2024? We know there's a bunch of talent in that room, but there seems to be a different type of buzz around this freshman. Now, he is a freshman, and, there's going to be a learning curve, I'm sure, that comes his way, but it seems like he's going to be able to be one of these guys, at least in my opinion, that can hit the ground running. Where do you think he can finish this year in the production pecking order for the wide receivers?
First, like the number one. And I don't mean to be dismissive of Emeka Egbuka when I say that. I think it's either of one of those two. And we have seen in the past, typically Marvin was an exception to this, and there have been other exceptions. But a lot of years, the guy who does play in the slot tends to lead the team in receiving. I just think because he's kind of closer to the quarterback, and it's easier for the quarterback to get the ball to him sometimes. And Emeka will be playing in the slot a lot. We'll play outside some more this year, I think, too. But I'm seeing a world where Jeremiah is starting and playing a lot, and I think already there's a lot of confidence with all these quarterbacks that they can just sort of put it near him, and he's going to catch it. So I think he's already got kind of that security blanket tag to him, too, despite the fact that he's not played. So I think maybe it will be close between he and Emeka, and when you talk production with Emeka, I think you have to factor in the running game to that, too. I do think Tiff Kelly might try to put the ball in Emeka's hands as a ball carrier, maybe a little more than we've seen in the past, but I think Jeremiah has all the tools to be this team's leading receiver.
Bill, I'm going to ask you a question that nobody really talks about. Special teams, because it's near and dear to my heart from professional reasons. The special teams have not been great in the past few years. They've made some changes there. How do you see special teams this year factoring into games?
I think they'll be better. I think they'll be more prepared. There's an interesting dynamic there this year without a true special teams coordinator. It's sort of like more of a committee approach, and that's my preference. I don't know if there's one way to do it or not, but I kind of like the idea of different position coaches handling different aspects of special teams play, and then the head coach sort of having a hand in all of it, which I think Ryan Day will have more of now that he's not the team's play caller and is more of a CEO. I think he'll kind of like scratch his coaching itch, so to speak, I think, by getting more involved with special teams. And I think that just creates a different level of accountability for everyone. And that's something that Ryan Day said during the spring. I think which he gained from conversations with Jim Tressel. It's like maybe sometimes it's a little hard for a special teams coordinator who's not associated with any one position to really grab the attention of the team. But if it's your position coach up there telling you to do something, or more importantly, if it's your head coach up there telling you to do something, maybe there's a desire to want to impress more in that area of the game. So I do think they're going to be better on special teams. I think they might be a little more creative on special teams, perhaps a little more aggressive in terms of like maybe fakes, but also kind of going after and trying to block kicks. At least I hope they are. I do think like Ohio State just has too many good athletes to not weaponize its special teams unit, but I'm hoping they do more of that this year, and I think overall it'll be just kind of like a more organized operation.
Should be a fun year. He's Bill Landis from the Kings of the North podcast. Bill, we appreciate your time, man. Thank you.
Yep, thanks, guys. Talk to you later.
Bill's on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. We do it every Monday, and we're going to do it next. It's Party Like a RothStar right around the corner. Rothman and Ice right here on the Fan.
If you don't like listening to the Morning Juice, Bobby Carpenter's man nipples will punch you in the face. For real.
You want to fight, do you? Weekdays from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just the slogan. That's the care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Thanks for coming with me to Meijer.
Absolutely. Ooh, I'll take one of these.
During the Meijer 7 for $7 sale, mix or match hundreds of items and pay just $1 each when you pick any 7 or more. We need bell peppers, Eckrich meat franks to grill, Powerade sports drinks for warm days, Chobani Greek yogurt, and Meijer essential paper towels.
On it. And an extra cart.
What? Why?
Well, it's only $1 each. We're getting way more than 7.
Shop the 7 for $7 sale at Meijer and pay just $1 each when you mix or match any 7 or more. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
At Take 5, we're faster than you think. That means we'll change your oil and have you back on the road faster than it takes for your fancy designer half-calf, heavy cream, no-whip, mocha latte to get cold. Just sit back and relax while our fast, friendly team does all the work. Take 5, the stay-in-your-car 10-minute oil change.
We know your golf game is ugly, but your course doesn't have to be. Experience the natural beauty of Delaware Golf Club today. Delaware Golf Club is now open to the public and only 10 miles up the road from 270. For the best rates, book your tee time online at DelawareGolfClub.com.
Attention weekend warriors. Fan Sports Saturday has moved to 10 a.m. Join Eric Reeser and Tyvis Powell as they dive into popular topics like the Buckeyes and Tyvis's liquid diet.
Saturdays from 10 to 1.
The Fan.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play, from the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar.
Whether it's a walk-off granny or a base hit to center field, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 and older, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm Scotty Vegas, and I just hit on my biggest win of the year. I called Maxima Concrete to create my ultimate sports driveway, and they delivered better than hitting that huge parlay. The neighbors wondered why I just go out and stare with a big smile at the ground. It's because Maxima Concrete gave me the driveway for all my ultimate pickleball battles, my game-winning basketball shots against the kids, and an area to make memories forever. Maxima Concrete does patios, walkways, driveways, and more. Get your free estimate at MaximaConcrete.com.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Ooh, what a dinger. Man, I miss our days playing ball. But ever since I turned 40, just thinking about taking a lap around the bases makes me tired.
You ever think lower testosterone is the issue?
What are you saying?
After 40, the body has less testosterone, impacting your drive. That's why guys like me take Nugenix Total T to keep their energy up.
Nugenix really works for you?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I feel great. Getting up early for workouts. I'm focused, energized, getting things done at work, in the gym. I even feel more passionate in my relationship.
How do I give Nugenix a try?
Send them a text for a complimentary bottle.
Text CASH to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text CASH to 321-321. That's CASH to 321-321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Patriot Air Comfort Systems and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
Let's all gather into the Kiki. It's time to party like a RothStar.
All right, welcome back in. Matty Ice chopping it up with our guy, the People's Champ, Tyvis Powell. You're the guest, so you get to lead it off. You're in the leadoff spot.
My first pick is I'm gonna go with a guy who we hadn't heard from in a while. He was very productive at one point in time in the league, but he kind of just fell by the wayside. But he showed life this past Friday for the Mavericks, and I'm talking Tim Hardaway Jr.
Okay,
listen, Tim Hardaway. I want to say I seen this stat. Tim Hardaway Jr. had not scored a point in the NBA since May 18th or something like that. To see him go out there and actually score, now listen, it was a blowout game. I understand all of that. But if he could give us this type of performance where he's contributing to some points, maybe they could get to 6 games.
That's
just
good stuff.
maybe.
That's a good call because what you're talking about is the 15 points he contributed to that blowout win. 5 of 7 from the 3-point line.
We need it.
All he did was shoot threes. That's the best role on the team. You make a whole bunch of money, you just shoot threes all day. I would love that role right there. Here's my take, and I cannot prove this with any facts. Both in hockey and in the NBA, I think the Panthers and the Boston Celtics through the last games because they want to win the championship at home. I can't back it up with any facts.
Listen, I'm going to just say right now, there's no way that the Mavs is 38 points better.
No way.
Than the Celtics.
Now,
So,
I know Porzingis did not play, and I think that's a big deal.
I don't care.
It's a big deal, but what you said, I will stand by you with that. I think the Florida Panthers and the Boston Celtics said, you know what? Winning the chip at home is a lot better than winning on the road. Now, you're playing a bit of a dangerous game. I get it. But
Are you?
I guess a little bit.
If they lose tonight, now it's dangerous.
And it gets a little spooky. I have not heard anything about Kristaps Porzingis, but I think both the Celtics and the Panthers will be hoisted up the trophies in their respective realms, and they will be champions. So, Tim Hardaway, that's a good one. I'm starting in baseball. And I'm starting with the man that plays in the AL Central.
Okay.
You know him well as a Guardians fan.
What's his name?
I'm talking about Royce Lewis.
Okay.
Royce Lewis for the Minnesota Twins. He's like Byron Buxton 2.0. And what I mean by that is when you see him out there, the dude's a superstar, but he's not out there that much. Royce Lewis is always injured, but here's where he's at right now. He's played in 12 games this year, and he's already hit 7 home runs. He's got 3 home runs over the last 4 games. He's got an 8-game hit streak and 8 hits over his last 4 games. This dude's an MVP caliber talent. He just cannot stay out there on the runway for a long period of time.
That's the biggest part. The best ability is availability.
You're 100% correct. We saw it last year in the postseason when he was hitting home runs all over the place. He's carried it over into 2024. So I know you as a Guardians fan, you probably don't like this guy, but me just as a baseball fan, he's electric, man. The dude is an absolute baller, so I got to give it to him. Royce Lewis for the Minnesota Twins is partying like a rockstar.
Yeah, he's all right. But I'm a show my, since we talking baseball and we're on that topic, it brings me to my next person that was balling. So you know, Maddie, my boy Jose Ramirez was welcoming his second kid.
Congrats, Jose.
So he had to miss a couple of games.
Okay.
So what does the Guardians do? They go get Daniel Schneemann.
Yeah.
Shout out to CB for helping me pronunciate that name. He says, don't worry, handle your business. I got you. Yesterday against the Blue Jays, 4 at-bats, 3 hits, 2 RBIs, and a home run. Did it for Jose and his kid. Congrats to J-Ram and his new kid.
That's big-time stuff right there. Your Guardians, it's just been a good year for the Guardians.
Hey, they hitting.
You know what?
It's always fun. When you hitting home runs, I predicted that they was going to finish top 15. I know they're somewhere around there. They was 13, 12. It's looking good, man. It makes you want to watch it.
Last year, y'all finished dead last.
I know.
And to me, that's what really hurt. When you guys got into the postseason and played the Astros and the Yankees,
it was over with.
They had the ability to hit those dingers. Now you guys have that as well. So, yeah, fun season for the Guardians so far. I'm staying in the world of baseball. I'm talking about a superstar that we all know. Because he said, you know what? I don't even need to pitch this year to be in the MVP conversation. I'm talking Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani yesterday against the Kansas City Royals, he went 2 for 3, and those hits were 2 trips around the pillows. 2 home runs for Shohei Ohtani. He is now batting on the year .309, 19 home runs, and 46 RBIs. That batting average ranks 7th in baseball. That home run category ranks tied for 4th. The dude is worth every single penny, and next year he's going to come back and hit home and pitch and hit home runs. But right now he is just proving at the end of the day, I'm one of the best players in the entire league. Shohei Ohtani partying like a rockstar.
Okay, and that brings me to my number 1 person that balled. Well, we might not call it balling, but he put on a performance. I stayed up late just to see this fight. Gervonta Tank Davis, the undefeated Tank, went against the undefeated Frank Martin. And I ain't gonna lie, Frank Martin came out there. Frank obviously had the size advantage. Frank came out there, was hitting him with the jab, was controlling the fight. But if you know Tank start off slow. He got to dissect what you gonna do. He gonna figure out how you about to try to box me. About round 4, I said, okay, here it is. He started off with them hands up. Round 5, he put them hands down. He started throwing a little bit more. I predicted it'd be over in the 8th. He knocked Frank smooth out in the 8th round and went on to add another dub in his undefeated streak.
You know that means a lot to me. He was born in Baltimore.
Yeah,
I'm born in Baltimore, so that's my Baltimore brother right there. Last one for me. We're sticking in the baseball world, but guess what? We're going to the college baseball realm because last Friday or a couple Fridays ago, I put the Tennessee Volunteers on the pressure list. #1 overall seed in the entire sport. They have a superstar by the name of Christian Moore. Christian Moore, let me tell you what he did on Friday night. Second baseman for the Volunteers. He hit for the cycle in his first 4 at-bats. Boom, 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 cycle, I'm done. The second player in College World Series history to ever hit for the cycle. The first time it's happened since 1956. He is only the first second baseman in SEC history to hit 30-plus home runs. Christian Moore, you'll hear his name called fairly early in the MLB draft for the Tennessee Volunteers, was partying like a rockstar.
He hit the cycle?
First 4 at-bats. I'm done. Just get it out the way quickly. He's from Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn, stand up. That's party like a rockstar right there. Coming up, our friends over at Pro Football Focus ranked the top 3 players for each AFC team in the NFL. Find out how they broke down the AFC North next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We're known for 3 things: games, conversation, and common man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
New 2024, up to 72 months Aria, N7A24.
Reichert Nissan has an announcement to make. 0% financing is now available for up to 72 months. Take a Reichert Nissan Aria home today and pay 0% for 72 months. But these low interest rates won't last long. Lock in your 0% financing at Reichert Nissan. Visit the Reichert Mega Mall off 270 and 33 or shop thousands of new and certified used at ReichertNissan.com.
Get the right car at Reichert.
We're dealing.
With approved credit. Residency restrictions apply. Offers cannot be combined. Dealer contribution affects consumer cost.
Your bathroom is boring and basic too. It seems like there's nothing you can do. A better bath awaits. You'll feel brand new, relaxing in a world of peace at the Bath Authority.
Schedule your free in-home estimate today and get $1,500 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. Restrictions apply.
You're our priority at the Bath Authority.
Small business owners, we know finishing your to-do list can feel like rowing upstream. But it's a river, a whitewater river, and the only paddles you have are pool noodles. Then when a new to-do pops up, you're like, nope, I'm already rowing upstream with these pool noodle paddles. At Progressive, we don't want to make your day any harder. That's why we make it easy to get personalized discounts with a commercial auto insurance quote online. So your to-do list is smooth sailing. See if you can save on commercial auto insurance in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverages and discounts not available in all states and subject to policy terms and underwriting.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
At UDF, our made-from-scratch peach ice cream is back with a bonus. When you buy 3 48-ounce cartons, you can quickly stack an extra 20 cents a gallon in gas savings. UDF Peach Ice Cream, made for you, while supplies last with an opted-in UDrive account.
Ready to be the change and have a positive impact on your community? Consider joining the Columbus Division of Police. Starting pay is $70,000 plus, growing to 6 figures after 4 years of service. We offer paid vacations, paid holidays, and health insurance. Do you aspire to complete your degree? We offer 100% tuition reimbursement after you complete your first year of service. Contact the CPD recruiting unit at jobs@columbuspolice.org or apply online at columbus.gov/government/jobs. The City of Columbus is an equal opportunity employer.
Open your door to a beautiful Nature Stone basement floor. This is Paul Keels for Nature Stone. June only, we're making huge deals for Dad with savings up to 50% off any basement or indoor floor. Schedule your free cost estimate today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Matt Andrews. Jordan Shipley from Ohio State, the low amateur, is second in 3 majors this year at the U.S. Open yesterday in Pinehurst. Reds coughed up an early lead in Milwaukee, could not rally to win late. Brewers won the game 5-4, took 2 of 3 in the series. Since he stays on the road in Pittsburgh tonight. Guardians, they dropped a 7-6 squeaker to the Blue Jays in Toronto yesterday. Ben Lively fell for just the 3rd time in 9 decisions. Cleveland off today, opens a homestand tomorrow with Seattle. Clippers lost yesterday 11-6 to Iowa. This update sponsored by Nature Stone. Schedule your free cost estimate today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone. Breaking sports news when it happens here on The Fan.
Their live golf team name is Ice Dogs. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Welcome back in. Matty Ice got the former Buckeye and national champion Tyvis Powell in with us on a Monday. Hope you all had a nice weekend. Bottom of the hour, Ben Brown from ESPN Bet. He covers the NFL. We'll bring him on to talk about the T. Higgins situation and a lot more. I saw this coming out of the weekend because, I'm a big fan of, we love fantasy football on the show. You're a fantasy football guy as well. I love seeing the stories when it comes to the punishments, right? Like what these guys or gals have to do in their league when you finish in the basement. Did you see the guy that had to sit at the McDonald's for 24 hours?
No.
So he finished in last. And here's his initial tweets. He said, I finished in last place in fantasy football, and tomorrow I have to do my punishment. I have to sit at a McDonald's for 24 hours unless I can eat my way out of it. So he had like this chart, and if he, I guess, rolled through a bunch of, the menu items and racked up a certain amount of points, he could leave. Like, I got to read a little bit more about that, but that's one of the best punishments because either way, you're suffering. You either have to just sit at McDonald's for 24 hours or you're going to be hurting because you're eating so much crap within a 24-hour window that you get the meat sweats and all of that nonsense going on. Would you try to eat your way out of this with McDoubles and nuggets, or would you just sit there for 24 hours in a McDonald's?
I would sit there for 24 hours. Now the people that come on the show after us, they love this. They eat 5 for 5s. They would eat. They'd be like, we gonna definitely eat our way out of this. Common Man and Tebow. They take that challenge. But me, I can't eat like that, so I'm gonna have to just sit there for 24 hours.
Just because I think once I got past because here's the thing, you start stacking up the different variety of burgers, like the McDouble and then the Big Mac, and then like that on my palate. That's just not. And then you get to
I gotta see how many. I gotta know exactly what I gotta eat because, if you sitting there, you might as well. You could just graze on it, but if it's a lot of stuff, it's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. So what it is. Looking at it here, you get a time reduction based off of what you eat. So it's a time reduction in minutes. So let's say if you went in there and you ate a Big Mac, that'll take 45 minutes off.
Okay.
If you ate a McDouble, that looks like 30 minutes. A McCrispy is 45. A fish fillet is 45. So that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm not eating that. Not 24 hours worth. I mean, new. I didn't even get
I can't do that. I can't do that. See
they wrong. They wrong for this.
You have to eat a medium fry, and that would take off 30 minutes. An ice cream and milkshake takes off 25. This is actually one of the most creative punishments I've ever seen right
here. They wrong. No, I'm telling you right now, you only going to lose that once. You only going to do that one time in your life. You going to get every magazine, read every article about fantasy. You're not going to lose twice.
So that was fun. So CB just passed this along, and this is some very fun information, at least for me, that just came down in the world of the NFL and the world that we live in AFC North Country, because just a moment ago, news broke that the NFL's in-season version of Hard Knocks will feature the AFC North this year. So
all teams?
This is the first time the NFL will follow an entire division. It will debut Tuesday, December 3rd. On HBO. So Bengals, Browns, Steelers, and Ravens are going to be the featured in-season version of Hard Knocks, and we'll have the HBO crews following all 4 squads. I'm here for it.
I mean, it has to do with you and our team. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to tune into that. I haven't watched Hard Knocks in a couple of years, but if the Browns is on it, I'm going to definitely tune in.
Because the Browns season a few years ago, I thought that was a pretty good Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
I don't know what you thought of it. Yeah,
they had
Josh Gordon pop up for a little bit there. I know the offensive line coach. I think he was the offensive line coach.
Bill Callahan?
I don't think that was him, but whoever was doing the hut in his belly kept jumping up and down every time. I forget that guy's name, but that guy, that was good. But I enjoyed that season of Hard Knocks. Like I'm a Hard Knocks guy. I got to be honest. I haven't tapped in too much to the in-season version just yet.
Yeah,
but this. I'm watching every episode.
Your Ravens is on it, so you're definitely going to have to tap into that.
Bob Wiley was the name. That's the guy. That's the guy that he had that scene there. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. Yeah, just every time his belly jumping up and down, man. That was absolutely incredible. So, yeah, good stuff right there coming from the NFL. I've been saying to AR for a while now, Tyvis. I think here in a few years, I think we're going to have every team have a Hard Knocks, whether it's all season, in season, within that calendar year, because they can do it. They're showing us that they can do it. It's just a matter of whether or not they want to do it.
I mean, yeah, it's all, listen, the NFL know how to make money. And they know that the demand, people want to see what goes into everything. People are fascinated by seeing practice, seeing meetings, seeing all of that stuff. And obviously for me, I lived it, so I know exactly what's going on. But if I'm if I'm putting myself in the perspective of somebody that's never been there, yeah, they want to see it. It's a high demand for that. And if they can market it and make money off of that, why wouldn't you?
No question. You're absolutely right. And what I think is interesting about this, too, is you're talking about at that point in the calendar, 3 or maybe even 4 teams that'll probably be in the mix as far as maybe playoff stuff, and that'll be exciting, right? Because sometimes you get these Hard Knocks teams, and you know they're not going to be very good, or you get the
usually it's when you get the one for training camp, it's the worst.
Right, you haven't been in the playoffs, and there's some other things there.
So this year it's the Jets, right?
Yes.
Actually, that should be a good one.
I want to see. See, here's the thing. There's so many different versions of this now that in my brain they're all kind of blended together. But now we know that the in-season version. I think you're right, which is going to be exciting.
Or they might have declined it. I don't remember.
Who's the hard? CB, find that out for. Remind us who the Hard Knocks team, that the normal version.
You are right. It will be the Jets this upcoming training camp.
That should be a good one.
Will Aaron be there?
Why wouldn't he?
When that mandatory minicamp.
We talking training camp.
Would you care if you were one of his teammates and he wasn't
OTAs?
There? No, for mandatory minicamp.
No,
really?
I don't care about that. A quarterback at that? I don't care about that.
Just like, come on, man, you can't.
Not training camp. He better be.
We'll see.
He don't come to training camp. I'm gonna look at him like, oh, it's over with. We done, yo.
What's up, CB?
Well, why this works so well with the AFC North being right around, I think the debut will be December 3rd. Is there's jam-packed a bunch of divisional games right around then? Like the Browns, for example, play the Steelers on November 21st, Ravens on October 27th, Bengals on October 20th. And then when it rolls into the week-by-week episode, you'll have the Steelers game on the road December 8th, and then the Bengals and the Ravens towards the end of the season. So it's going to be really jam-packed with divisional games during that stretch of television.
And to add to your point, CB, there's a game in there where the Kansas City Chiefs are coming to the Muni lot on December 15th. So that'll be good stuff.
It's going to be a good game right there.
That will be really good stuff. Speaking of the AFC North, our friends over at Pro Football Focus put together a pretty cool article where they ranked picked the top 3 players for each AFC team. So obviously in our neck of the woods, we focus on the AFC North a lot. That's the division that we love, and I couldn't wait to run some of these by you. I want to get maybe just your guess at who they picked, though, for the Browns before we get to the other teams. Which 3 players for the Browns do you think they view as the top guys?
On the team?
Yes.
Miles?
Mm-hmm.
Joe Bitonio?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Amari Cooper?
No.
Really? J.O.K.?
Yes.
Okay. Denzel Ward?
Nope. I'll give you one more guess, unless you just want to keep guessing.
Nick Chubb?
No, I think it's the injury. If he was healthy, he would be on this. So that's a good guess. They went with Myles Garrett, J.O.K., and Zadarius Smith.
That's absurd. Now, I get the J.O.K. and I get the Miles. The Zadarius Smith one that's ridiculous.
Because he's been fine in Cleveland. He's been a disappointment?
Yeah, to me.
Okay.
To me, what do you have, 5 sacks last year? Yeah, no, that's not what you paid for that. That's not why you made that trade. And on top of that, when you look at his career, even I think the year before the Browns, he was really dominant the first half of the season and then kind of fell off in the second half of the year. And last year, it was pretty much the same thing. So
5.5 sacks. So you were right. You were right there. Zadarius Smith, 5.5 sacks, and obviously Miles won Defensive Player of the Year with 14. So I'm with you. There needs to be a little uptick there in production.
They out of
for
Zadarius. They lost their mind.
You brought up Coop. You brought up Amari. You know what's going on with him. He's looking for a new contract. How do you think that's going to play, or how do you think that should play out in Cleveland when it comes to Amari Cooper and getting him a new deal?
It's a part of the business. It's a business thing. You go out there, and like I said, it's happening right in frund of him. I don't think he knows exactly what's going on.
Would you give him a new deal?
Personally,
in Cleveland, would you extend him?
They always say, I'm gonna just throw this out there. They always say you got to move on from a player a year too early rather than a year too late. But what I will tell you is Amari Cooper, hands down, will always be one of the best route runners in Cleveland. He just knows how to get separation. I have to see what it looks like this year with him and Jerry Jeudy, because at the end of the day, next year, if you have to make a first round pick, you got a big decision to make. If Jerry Jeudy has a really good productive year this year, do you take that first round pick and get a left tackle, or are you going to pay Jed? That's the first question right there. You can't go into the season without a left tackle.
Right.
So you like handicaps that happen to take the best tackle that's available. Now you got to try to worry about trying to get a second round wide receiver. And how have we been with drafting wide receivers?
It would have made me feel, and I'm not a Browns fan, but it would have made me feel better if the money that they gave to Jeudy, that would have went to Coop. Jeudy I
need to know how many years because I say for a receiver about 32 is where it starts to be done.
So here's what I brought up.
He'll be, 31 this year?
Yeah, right around there. Here's what I brought up to AR and CB the other day. If I'm Amari Cooper and I'm 30 and Calvin Ridley's 30, I just watched this all season, Calvin Ridley get 4 for 92. And I've been a lot more of a productive player over the last couple of years than Calvin Ridley has. So me and my agent, it may not be that exact type of deal, but we got to be close.
4 for 90, you said?
And 46 fully guaranteed is what the Tennessee Titans gave Calvin Ridley. Why should I ask for anything short of that if I'm Amari Cooper right now?
Why the Tennessee Titans can do that?
They're desperate. They have a rookie quarterback.
Exactly.
They have a rookie quarterback.
When you're paying somebody $230 million, then on top of that, you're gonna have to get ready to pay Miles again.
I know.
It's just, you can't pay then you got to pay MJ Emerson. Like, it's so many people. JOK's getting paid this year. Everybody can't get paid.
I know, and that's why I can't wait to see how this Amari thing unfolds. But maybe we just follow the money with Jeudy, and maybe that's the first breadcrumb to follow.
They shouldn't have paid Jeudy that money until he. But then again, they got him at a discount if he turns into that guy. So
that's true. That's true. For the Bengals, Pro Football Focus, they picked Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Trey Henderson. No surprises there. No surprises, I think, at all. With their big three for the Ravens, they went Lamar Jackson, Roquan Smith, and Kyle Hamilton.
I respect that.
I think there could be a debate for Mark Andrews and Kyle Hamilton.
Last year.
I mean, Kyle Hamilton was all pro safety.
That's why I'm saying it's hard to go against that.
Yeah, and Roquan Smith was a stud, and we know Lamar won his second MVP. And for Pittsburgh,
TJ Watt.
Yeah, who else do you think?
Minka Fitzpatrick.
Great guess.
Cam Hayward.
Yeah. That's a good one. And for the former Buckeye and Cam Hayward, what's been wild to see, T, is that a lot of his really good years have come post the age of 30.
Yeah, I think I just seen him come out yesterday or 2 days ago saying that he wants to continue to keep playing.
He's been good, man. He's been really good. Like years 31, 32, 33. He's been really productive for them. I thought that there's a chance that they would go with Pickens in there somewhere. But he's been.
It's because it's the quarterback thing.
I know.
If he had a good quarter this year, with Russell, he should at least. You would think.
I think their floor is just it's maybe not a lot higher, but it's higher than where it has been.
They had a productive year at the end of the year and made the playoffs with Mason Rudolph.
That's true. And then a lot of Steeler fans want more from Mike Tomlin now when it comes to the postseason. So there's your AFC North. top 3 players for each squad in the North according to Pro Football Focus. We'll do a little bit more of this in the deep dive today and go more around the AFC and talk about those teams. But coming up, a couple front offices around the NFL received some news that could be really maybe a sticky situation for them in their old building. We'll tell you why next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
No hot takes, no dancing, plenty of stupid. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Some people just know there's a better way to do things, like bundling your home and auto insurance with Allstate, or going to the grocery store for milk instead of buying your own cow. You know there's an easier and better way. Save up to 25% when you bundle home and auto with Allstate.
Bundled savings vary by state and are not available in every state. Saving up to 25% is the countrywide average of the maximum available savings off the home policy. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hot under the collar? Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix that fast. 1-800-COOLING.
A healthy body needs good food. This summer, the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce is sponsoring Sun Meals, a summer food program where kids eat free. Children under 18 receive healthy meals and no sign-up is required. Locations may be right in your neighborhood. Call 1-866-348-6479 or visit education.ohio.gov/kidseat for meal locations and times. That's education.ohio.gov/kidseat.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to protect against wear and deposits. Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select filter for just $33.99 in-store only. Limit supply. Learn more at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Dad, he teaches everything. How to throw, catch, mow the lawn. One day a year is about him. So let's spoil him with an amazing grill from Billiards Plus. Napoleon, Louisiana, and other top brands at great prices. Some with up to 30-year warranties. Do it for Dad. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Common Man and T-Bone.
This is why you need to start ignoring your phone during the show. That's the best thing you could do.
I need the internet to work. I work from home. I understand. You understand I'm working now?
Common Man and T-Bone.
Sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekdays 3 to 6 on The Fan.
The Columbus Men's Clinic opened in 2014 for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken. But when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At the Columbus Men's Clinic, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for a decade. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. You'll be seen by our friendly, discreet physician who will take the time to listen. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. Imagine going from feeling gray to living life in vibrant color. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 614-300-7400 or go to ColumbusMen'sClinic.com to schedule a $99 male performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. ColumbusMen'sClinic.com. Book your appointment now.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Every year, Adult Protective Services receives thousands of reports of elder abuse, exploitation, and neglect in Ohio. When a report is received, Adult Protective Services can check in and provide help if needed. If someone you know is showing signs of elder maltreatment, don't hesitate to call 855-OHIO-APS. Let's work together to help every Ohioan age safely.
Fan and weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A lot of sunshine out there today, going 95 for the high. Tonight we get down to around 73. We will have a few pop-up storms later on today, but as we lose daytime heating, those will subside. High pressure keeps us very hot tomorrow, going 95 under mostly sunny skies. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your Doppler 10 forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
You're listening to Rothman and Ice, the #1 rated midday show in Columbus.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, welcome back in. Matty Ice, Tyvis Powell, former Buckeye national champion, in for AR today. Hope everybody is staying cool out there because this is the week. You got to stay hydrated, T. You know what I'm saying? Stay hydrated. Stay as cool as you can because Mother Nature is playing no games with us for the next few days.
Like I said, I'm here for it because I'm trying to lose some weight and I'm trying to get a little one shade darker.
Okay.
I really want to be like Wesley Snipes, but you know that's
So you want to go like from milk chocolate to maybe like a little. Not really dark chocolate, but
actually,
in between, you want to go to the dark chocolate Hershey bar.
Yeah.
Okay. Not a big fan of dark chocolate. They say it's pretty healthy for you, right?
It is.
Yeah, this milk chocolate just tastes so much better to me.
Well, of course, because it's not healthy.
It tastes so much better.
Actually, you know what? I'm starting to give up sugar.
Really?
I'm starting to get really into like zero drinks, like zero sugar drinks, like Sprite Zero.
I witnessed this happen.
Yeah,
because
Common Man messed me up with the Sprite Zero.
Last time you were in with me, he brought you a Sprite Zero.
What a guy.
And yeah, what a guy. A great dude, Common Man. Catch him on the Fan from 3 to 6. I'm a company guy, see? And then you were hooked. It seemed like that was it. I saw your eyes.
I went and got a 12 pack. I went straight to the store.
Because you know how I can get with some of those diet sodas, right? Like you taste it on your palate. It just tastes completely different. But you're saying this one is...
Oh, man. You can't even really tell the difference.
All good in the hood, huh?
And you're like, is it 0 calories?
How far off is it?
Somebody told me a little health advice. Somebody told me that you shouldn't drink your calories.
A lot of people do that on the weekends, though.
Well, see,
you don't drink.
Exactly.
You don't drink at all. You don't drink at all. I would love to see
lemonade is as far as I'm going with this.
I would love to see Tyvis with like a little maybe Tito's in your lemonade. Just a little splash.
I don't think you do.
What? No?
I'm scared to find out. I'm scared. They say that, you get a little of that stuff in you. It give you confidence. You do stuff that you might think it, but you know not to do it.
Well, you don't lack in confidence, so maybe you don't. Maybe you don't need that. But yeah, chocolate, just milk chocolate is just. I'll tell you what, though, I do like the Hershey's white chocolate bar with the Oreo little crumbles in it or whatever.
Cookies and cream.
Yeah, the cookies and cream bar. That'll get it done. Man. That gets it done every time. We went to an Italian restaurant yesterday, and they started off with, how you've been to a place, right, where they give you the oil with the bread.
And oil, yeah.
This place put Parmesan cheese and oil on the same little saucer.
I never heard
and
of
dipped the bread in there.
See, they did the oil, what is it? The balsamic with the oil, with the olive oil on it.
On top of maybe tomatoes and cheese, and you're talking about that. Yeah, that's a nice little appetizer.
Yeah.
That'll work too. That'll work. Speaking of bread, a quarterback that got a lot of bread recently is down in Duval County by the name of Trevor Lawrence. 5 years, $275 million, 142 of that fully guaranteed. $55 million per year. That AAV ties him with Joe Burrow for the highest paid player in league history. Before we branch off of that into a couple franchises that are now, I believe, in a sticky situation because of the deal that I just mentioned, when you saw those numbers and hear those numbers for Trevor Lawrence, what is your reaction?
Must be nice. That's the first thing that I thought of. Must be nice. No, I think that Trevor Lawrence, he was in a situation with the front office to where they had no choice. Like quarterbacks in the NFL is such a premium, and it's not like the draft is over. Nobody's trading theirs.
Right.
So you kind of have no choice but to pay him this money. And yes, last year maybe wasn't great. The Calvin Ridley and him experience didn't go the way that you thought it would. But you got to think, this guy just 2 years ago was down, 21 points in the playoff game.
Through 4 picks, I think, in the first half.
And came back out and won that back-to-back games. So
Right.
you know he has the ability to win big-time games. So, I mean, at the end of the day, when you got a guy that you at least can make the playoffs with, that can win big games, you have no choice but to pay him.
I agree. I agree. I think, sometimes we can go down the road of, well, we want this in the playoffs and we want these numbers, and it usually doesn't work like that. I think once you cross a certain bar as a quarterback, you're the guy. And your franchise and fan base just has to hope that you can get through the season and get into the playoffs, and you will figure things out. And for Trevor Lawrence, I've always liked the talent. There's no denying he's been just pretty good in the NFL. I'm willing to give him just a wash for year one.
Everybody else.
It was a mess, right? It was a mess.
There's
We
a
all
lot
know
going on now,
it was a lot going on. So I don't know if any young quarterback would thrive in that type of situation, but he definitely has to now up his game.
Hold on. I know some young quarterbacks that thrive under Urban.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying that in the NFL that year, we know. Let's just say it was a lot going on. Okay, it was a lot going on. But now that we have this paycheck on record, and you're up there, your name's next to Joe Burrow, it's put up or shut up time. So now let's advance the story a little bit to the front offices of Dallas and Miami, specifically Miami.
Oh, it's interesting
because I think you just used the perfect word. It's very interesting because on one side of this thing, Tua and his agent are sitting back and they're loving this. Look, I don't think he's going to get that deal that Trevor Lawrence just got, but he sat back and watched.
Why can't he?
That's a fair.
Where was he? He finished did he finish first in passing yards?
First in the league in passing yards.
Okay.
And showed them, I think one of the most important boxes he checked was that he was available.
He played all game.
He was available.
Yeah.
There's just this thing that's followed him since college that he's going to get nicked up. But like you just said, with Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars, what choice do they have? I think the choices that they have are to get him a new deal that will be in the ballpark. I think I will be blown away
if he get more.
If he gets the same or more. Blown away.
You about to give it? Well, you better make sure you keep your shoes on because you about to get blown away.
Listen, man, you think he's gonna? I think he's getting 50 a year. That's happening.
Matty Ice, he gonna walk in there and say, "You see that dude? Let's compare stats. Last year, who had the better season?
You, Tua.
Okay.
You did.
What are we talking about?
I'm not sitting here saying he doesn't deserve a whole bunch of money. I'm just curious what they do. Do you believe, because you've dealt in this world of these type of contracts, he's getting 50 plus a year, but how much protection do you think the front office is going to want for themselves? As far as incentives.
I mean, incentives. There will be none. Why would he sign?
I hear you.
Why would he sign an incentives-based deal?
I wouldn't either.
He literally just led the league in passing.
Listen, and that's why I just wanted to get your take on this because
listen, I know how people feel about Tua. We all feel like is he the guy that you think can win you a Super Bowl? And the question is, nobody's there yet. But I mean, he's doing some amazing things. I mean, yes, is he thriving because he got these weapons behind him? Who wouldn't?
Yeah, and we don't knock other good quarterbacks either for having good weapons. So that's okay. So now on the other side of this is the guy that finished second in MVP last year, and Dak. That I don't know what they're doing because to me this deal should have been done. This deal should have been done. I don't understand this. I think the Cowboys have put themselves in a corner here.
I think they want to move off from Dak so bad, but they don't have the answer.
I don't understand.
If Trey Lance was to show something, they could easily try to move off. Even with Tua, when Tua went down, their backup quarterback was horrible.
Right, you have no other option.
So that's what I'm saying. It's these front offices put themselves in a position where you don't have a choice.
And Dak's living the life right now. He's like, okay, y'all don't want to pay me this because
somebody will.
No franchise tag clause and no trade clause.
Somebody will.
So
he's not worried about getting paid. No, somebody's going to pay him.
I just don't understand what the Cowboys are waiting on. So there you go. Just the quarterback market around the NFL is absolutely crazy right now in the league. Ben Brown from ESPN Bet. He covers the National Football League. We'll get his take on this and a lot more coming up next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
The Ohio Egg Fest is back for its 10th year, presented by Specialty Gas House and Buckeye Cruise for Cancer. Join us for this big green egg grilling competition at Fortress Obetz on Saturday, July 27th. Enjoy all-you-can-eat food from 36 cook teams, live music from North to Nashville, cooking demos, giveaways, and more. Don't miss out on discounted big green egg grill packages with over $600 off retail and a lifetime warranty. Pre-order online at theohioeggfest.com today. Before they sell out, all proceeds benefit cancer research at the James. Get your discounted big green egg grills and your taster tickets now at theohioeggfest.com.
Listen up, gamers. Mountain Dew has always been your go-to for a refreshing citrus kick. Now it's also your go-to for gaming rewards. With Mountain Dew Gaming Rewards, you just look for codes under the caps of specially marked 20-ounce bottles of Mountain Dew. Enter those codes online to bank points, and then redeem them for awesome gaming gear. Everything from gift cards, game copies, controllers, consoles, custom Mountain Dew gaming gear, and more. Join Mountain Dew Gaming Rewards now.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18+. Subject to program terms at mountaindewgaming.com and 2525. Voter prohibited.
It was a quiet night in Columbus, maybe a little too quiet. Me, Philip Flapper, plumbing detective. I was finishing up for the night when she walked in. Long hair, 2 legs, a couple of arms, a nose, elbows. Pretty standard equipment for this neighborhood. I looked at her, she looked at me, and then we did that thing where we both spoke at the same time. What can I do for you? I'm sorry, that was awkward. We went on to talk about clogs, funny odors, water going down the drain too slow. This is above my pay grade, I told her, and gave her this website, apexpros.com. They're the pros who knows, the kinds of plumbers who don't mind getting their hands dirty. And believe me, what's down those pipes is dirty. Ugh, call the pros, Apex Pros. And that was it. She walked out of my life, using those legs I told you about earlier.
Hi, it's Alex, the friendly Apex Bear from Apex Pros. Apex plumbers are the pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
Much like a vampire, we need to be invited into your house. But once we're in, we never leave. Listen to The Fan on your Alexa or Google Home smart speaker. Just say play 97.1 The Fan and prepare to be amazed. Do it now.
Thanks for coming with me to Meijer.
Absolutely. Ooh, I'll take one of these.
During the Meijer 7 for $7 sale, mix or match hundreds of items and pay just $1 each when you pick any 7 or more. We need bell peppers, Eckrich meat franks to grill, Powerade sports drinks for warm days, Chobani Greek yogurt, and Meijer essential paper towels.
On it. And an extra cart.
What? Why?
Well, it's only $1 each. We're getting way more than 7.
Shop the 7 for $7 sale at Meijer and pay just $1 each when you mix or match any 7 or more. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Driving plays a big part in driving the local economy. It helps us all get where we're going and creates good jobs close to home. At Synovus Energy, our refineries in Toledo and Lima are a reliable domestic source of gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. Plus, more than 2,300 employees and contractors work for us here in Ohio. See how we're helping local communities move forward at Synovus.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Ooh, what a dinger. Man, I miss our days playing ball. But ever since I turned 40, just thinking about taking a lap around the bases makes me tired.
You ever think lower testosterone is the issue?
What are you saying?
After 40, the body has less testosterone, impacting your drive. That's why guys like me take Nugenix Total T to keep their energy up.
Nugenix really works for you?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I feel great. Getting up early for workouts. I'm focused, energized, getting things done at work, in the gym. I even feel more passionate in my relationship.
How do I give Nugenix a try?
Send them a text for a complimentary bottle.
Text CASH to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text CASH to 321-321. That's CASH to 321-321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The best bet on the radio. This is Rothman and Ice.
Welcome back in. Matty Ice got the former Buckeye national champion Tyvis Powell in the house today. Going to use the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan gas hotline right now to bring on our guy Benjamin Brown. Covers the NFL over at ESPN. Ben, hope you had a nice weekend, man. How are you?
Hey guys, yeah, thanks for having me. I was, a wonderful Father's Day. My kids appreciated me for once, so I would say all in all, I've had a pretty good weekend. I hope you guys were the same.
That's good to hear, man. Had a good weekend as well. So over the weekend, some news came out of Cincinnati that T. Higgins is back in the mix. He'll be at training camp after signing his franchise tag. Ben, obviously you're well aware of a lot of the wide receiver contracts that have been handed out this all season. When you look at T. Higgins and his standalone talent, what type of, let's say he doesn't re-sign at Cincinnati this offseason, what type of deal do you think he could get from another team maybe down the road?
Yeah, I think it is a really good question. To me, I obviously don't think he's going to be, the one on the Bengals, roster that's really going to reset the wide receiver position, get above that, $35 million guaranteed deal or $35 million a year deal that Justin Jefferson recently signed. I do think he is, in a lot of ways, I would say relatively close to what he's probably getting, or is getting, I would say right now on the franchise tag. I would expect him to probably slot in closer to the $22.5 million that Stephon Diggs is making this year, maybe up into the $23 million range. I think those are at least realistic numbers that he would feel really comfortable in, and especially if someone's going to give him a 3 or 4 year deal at that particular price point, I think that makes a lot of sense from both perspectives. I wouldn't want to see, a really aggressive move up into the 26, 27, or even $28 million range for T. Higgins, but I think, 22 to 24 probably is where he ends up settling. I would be surprised if it does end up being the Cincinnati Bengals, and I very much think he is going to, have to test free agency and really see that sort of market develop to kind of get to those numbers.
Ben, I want to keep you right there in the wide receiver room because I'm sitting here looking at this TV and they're talking about Brandon Ayuk. Is this the last season that we'll see him with the 49ers, or do you think they come up with some type of deal or maybe even trading Deebo Samuel and keeping Ayuk?
Yeah, I personally think that Ayuk is kind of the odd man out in this particular situation for the 49ers. I think it more likely they kind of want to keep Deebo Samuel's, in some ways, unique skill set at the wide receiver position. I think in a lot of ways, getting Ricky Pearsall at the end of the first round, they at least have somebody who can slot in and kind of take over some of those at least more downfield type targets that Brandon Ayuk has typically commanded in that offense. And I think keeping Deebo and moving on from Ayuk does make a lot of sense. Just with the 49ers in general, it seems like they are going to have a lot of questions to navigate here coming up. I think, one key player on the offensive side of things that doesn't get really discussed, but Trent Williams, obviously, he is, the prototypical left tackle, and I think is in some ways kind of nearing, the retirement sort of age. So how long he continues, I think, is in a lot of ways going to dictate just how long this championship window stays open for the San Francisco 49ers. But I think after this season, Brandon Ayuk is very much going to be on the outside looking in, and we could see, I would say, maybe even a little bit of a rebuild happening from the 49ers sooner rather than later, just based on some projections of things and how this roster ends up evolving.
Benjamin Brown from ESPN back covering the NFL joining us here on The Fan. Benjamin, I want to get your reaction to the Trevor Lawrence contract that came down just a few days ago. I think the sticker shock for a lot of people is there when you look at, dig into some of the numbers. But when you look at him as a quarterback, where he's been the last couple of years, where'd your mind go when you saw that big deal come down?
Yeah, I mean, it is a lot, but and obviously, with Lawrence coming into the league, we probably all expected him to have played better than, what he has done so far in Jacksonville. So to see him get, top of market type money, kind of tie with Joe Burrow on an average per year basis, not quite as much from a guaranteed standpoint, but it is eye opening, and in some ways you're paying for a projection and continuity at the position that Jacksonville hasn't really had before. I think in some ways their situation with what they're putting around him is finally starting to get I would say somewhat adequate, but he has dealt with a lot both from an offensive skill position and those players around him, and also a coaching standpoint that has really struggled. So I think they're paying up in some ways for continuity and still this idea of what Trevor Lawrence could potentially evolve into. I'm not saying that's where he actually ends up, but I can at least justify the payment because we are just going to continue to see quarterback contracts continue to skyrocket, I would say here, and in some ways locking in Trevor Lawrence. Especially in the ways in which they did that and do have him on at least under control for a number of years. I do think it makes a lot of sense. And I think, towards the end of this deal, it's going to look like a relatively team-friendly deal when it's all said and done. And I think that's the long-term play that the Jaguars are buying into with Trevor Lawrence at quarterback.
Ben, I know it's been a couple of months since the NFL draft happened, but when you saw, some of those guys go in the first round, which one of them did you say, you know what, he's going to the best situation and he's probably going to thrive there? Who was your favorite pick?
Yeah, I think if we're just talking quarterbacks, I got to go with my hometown guy, J.J. McCarthy. I think throughout the entire draft cycle, I did think, especially if they could lock in Justin Jefferson, which they now have done, like this team with, Kevin O'Connell kind of at the helm, what they have at the wide receiver position, and even along the offensive line, it is a really intriguing opportunity. Sam Darnold in the fold as well. You don't need a guy to kind of start right away. And in a lot of ways, I think the pressure's, more off of him than obviously the guys selected before him, because he did, kind of round out the first 10 picks and doesn't have the pressure of, completely changing or taking over a franchise like a guy like Caleb Williams or even Jaden Daniels probably has. So I think McCarthy overall to the Vikings is a really interesting situation. I think, the other one obviously is going to be Caleb Williams, but I think that's kind of like an easy slam dunk type pick. But I think, with what the Bears did, even outside of Caleb Williams this offseason, they are a team that is going to go through this rebuild relatively quickly. And I think they're very much going to stay relevant or be in the thick of things from the NFC playoff picture all season long because of it.
So we had Aaron Rodgers kind of shake the room last week where he wasn't, at mandatory minicamp, and I don't think we know where he was at. Benjamin, it'll be interesting to hear, where he was at if we ever find out. But let's just talk about that team that he quarterbacks, the New York Jets, and the ceiling that you believe they have in a conference that seems to be pretty crowded on paper again.
Yeah, it is crowded. I think you can obviously pick apart, any of the four teams in the AFC, East. Obviously, the Patriots are not going to be relevant, whatsoever. But the Dolphins and what they had to kind of figure out with Tua, the Bills, and not really having any of the, any skill position players that are relatively proven to have around Josh Allen. It does seem like the Jets are kind of in the best position to win the AFC East. And I think when you look, not only do they have in some ways some of the top end talent, at wide receiver and Garrett Wilson, they went out and got a guy like Mike Williams as well to kind of be that field stretcher type wide receiver that has really thrived with Aaron Rodgers in the fold. And I think they at least, have some pieces along the offensive line that I think can really be helpful. So I want to buy into them offensively, and I think defensively, that's a very easy question to answer. One of the best defenses in football still, I think, really strong up the middle, have guys that can cover, basically anybody on the football field. So to me, they definitely are, kind of the team to beat in the AFC East. I don't want to read too much into Aaron Rodgers, skipping mini camp. I do think he's going to be there once training camp starts up. Obviously, he carries a level of distraction to a team that in some ways is, more complicated to navigate. But I think, just being in the New York, marketplace, there's some of that that's already built into the equation. And I very much think this is kind of the make or break season for Robert Saleh. And I do think we're going to see kind of the best effort from every single corner of this football team. And I would, I would be surprised, I guess, if they aren't the team that ends up winning the AFC East when it's all said and done.
Ben, I'm gonna get you out. I'm gonna get you out of here on this question right here. There's three quarterbacks that's coming up with that has to get deals done. It's Tua, Brock Purdy, and Dak Prescott. You've seen what Trevor Lawrence got. How many of them exceed the amount that Trevor Lawrence got?
That's a good question. I do think Dak Prescott is going to end up getting over that $55 million a year dollar. I do think that it's actually probably not going to be from the Dallas Cowboys. And we do see Dak Prescott have a ton of opportunities in free agency and kind of be able to interview these teams. And I think that in that scenario, he's going to be the guy that gets over $55 million. It'll be interesting to me for Tua, but I think he probably slots in just a little bit lower, closer to the $52 million range. And then, Brock Purdy, that's one that I don't have a strong gauge on. I think him and Jordan Love, in particular, are two guys that, should and will get extended, but at what price point, it is going to be really interesting to kind of see that next tier of quarterback valuation, and not just, the top end guys, but maybe the second tier, maybe still somewhat the jury's still out on how well they're going to perform in any given setting. Like those types of players, where they end up from a contract standpoint, I think is the really interesting dynamic for how we're going to head into next season for sure.
Very quickly, Benjamin, you mentioned Dak may get paid elsewhere. Your favorite Dak Prescott landing spot outside of Cowboys will be where?
Oh man, that is a very good question. I honestly don't think like the New York Giants is outside of the realm of possibility. I think that would be a really intriguing one. There are a few other teams, and that's things like, what team could potentially upgrade it and navigate like Dak and paying some other quarterback for a year. But I very much think, a team like Tampa Bay, a team like the New York Giants, like a lot of these teams are going to be very interested and very much should be going all in on Dak Prescott when and if his services are available to the open market.
He's Benjamin Brown. He covers the NFL over at ESPN Bet. Excuse me, Benjamin. Appreciate your time, man. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks, guys. Have a great show.
Yeah, appreciate it. Benjamin was on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. When it comes to the 2025 recruiting class over at the Woody Hayes Center, the booms are rolling. We'll tell you all about it next in our Buckeye Bulletin. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
The Fan is live and local with morning juice, caffeinate, and dominate.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, it's Anthony here for the Good Feet store. We do a segment on the show every week called Pressure, but that's about sports. What about the pressure your feet endure every day? I know mine did. When I went to the Good Feet store, I learned I was out of line. I joked, I already know that. They said, no, physically, my feet weren't being supported the right way. So when I went to the store on Polaris Parkway, they also have one on Stringtown Road, I took all the time I needed to walk around the store to see what felt and fit the best in my shoes. Once I had them in, my personal arch supports from the Good Feet store, my lower back pain went away. What a feeling. You need to get your free personalized fitting by one of their arch support specialists. For arch supports to be effective, they require a precision fit. That's why Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store. You like them? You can wear them home. You have nothing to lose but the pain. So go to goodfeet.com today or go in and try the Good Feet feeling. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief, all from the Good Feet store.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Call 614-502-5220 to schedule your free in-home estimate today. And for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free, plus 0% financing for 60 months. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. And look at you, hands perfectly placed on the wheel, not like the driver to the right of you who's really going after that drum solo. Save with DriveWise in the Allstate app and only pay a rate based on you.
Not available in every state, subject to terms and conditions. Rating factors and savings vary, and in some states your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The Buckeyes are starting fall camp and we're tagging along. The Fan is broadcasting live August 1st through the 4th at Ohio State football practice. Morning juice and Bishop and Friends Thursday and Friday, plus live weekend programming. Let's go.
The best of rivals, the best of 2 leagues meet again this summer. MLS versus Liga MX face off in the 2024 MLS All-Star, starting Sunday, July 21st. After a weekend of soccer celebrations, MLS All-Star Skills Challenge presented by AT&T will come to Lower.com Field on Tuesday, July 23rd, featuring MLS All-Stars versus Liga MX All-Stars as they show off the best of their skills. The 2 teams will match up once more at the 2024 MLS All-Star Game, presented by Target on Wednesday, July 24th. For more information on tickets and events, visit MLSsoccer.com/All-Star.
Now at Menards, save big money on everything for building outdoor projects. Shop our huge in-stock selection of AC2 pressure-treated lumber, decking, and fencing. Our drive-through lumber yard makes loading up on big savings easy. Plus, get free estimates fast using our deck and fence design programs in-store or on Menards.com. Start planning your outdoor lumber projects today at Menards and save big money.
Save big money at Menards.
I can't believe tax season is here already. Look at all this info I have to enter.
Phil's small accounting firm is growing in numbers.
Why didn't I take that typing class in high school?
A data entry specialist could really help him in a crunch.
I got blisters on my fingers.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This show's sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. We blinked and 2024 is already halfway over. Pretty incredible. What's something that you've done this year you're proud of? Keep up the good work with a moment every week to hit pause, set intentions, and reset in therapy. BetterHelp offers affordable online therapy on a flexible schedule. Take a moment with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/Carlin today to get 10% off your first month.
Want to know anything about the fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, welcome back in Buckeye Bulletin time. The recruiting trail it's all in popping because the 2025 class, Tyvis, is coming together very, very well for the coaching staff. Under Ryan Day, we found out the other day that Ohio State landed a commitment from 3-star running back Isaiah West. Isaiah West is from St. Joseph's Prep School. If you recognize that school, it's from the Philadelphia area. So here we are with Coach Lachlan coming in and him bringing in a couple guys. You had Bo Jackson that's in this class, and now you have Isaiah West. Your thoughts on this?
I mean, I think he's doing a wonderful job. I mean, I got a chance to talk to Isaiah's parents on Saturdays, because I had to show my face on Saturdays over there, And they were relieved that the process was over with. They was thrilled with the decision that he wanted to be a Buckeye. All joy. They was going to celebrate, and I think that they are wonderful people, and I think he's a wonderful player as well. I think him and Bo Jackson will complement each other very nice, and I just love what Coach Locke is doing. He's building a special relationship. I think he, even on the interview, said that he does a great job of building relationships with these men because that ultimately helps get the best out of them and help them play harder on the field, and he's 100% correct. If you really love your coach and you really rock with your coach, you're going to go out there and play your heart out for him because you understand that his job rides on your performance. And if you love him like you say you do, you're going to make sure that you go out there and make sure he earns his money. And I think that that's exactly what these two young running backs are going to do. They only spoke highly of Coach Locke and Coach Day. So I think we got two special running backs coming to this running back room.
It's good to hear. That's good stuff for sure. Good perspective from, the former player right there. So I'm very excited about the future at this position, but even the present right now with what Coach Lachlan and Coach Chip Kelly and Coach Day are going to do with TreVeyon and Quinshon. It should be a very exciting year with what the run game could look like for the Scarlet and Gray. Going back to just quickly the 2025 recruiting class that they're putting together, according to 24/7 Sports, that's the #1 class in the country right now. So
they cooking.
Clap it up for Tyvis Powell, too.
Whoa. No, you don't. You clap it up for The Ohio State University.
No, absolutely.
The wonderful recruiting staff, Coach Pantoni over there doing his thing, Coach Day really building relationships with these kids and these kids understanding the opportunity that Ohio State presents. Yeah. They're doing a really good job of showing them that, hey, this brotherhood thing is real. And with everybody that I talk to, when they come to campus and they get around these coaches and these players, they feel at home. They feel safe. They feel like it's right. And that's only because of the wonderful things that Coach Day is doing over there with Coach Mick, Coach Pantoni, and that wonderful recruiting staff.
Rounding out the top 5 around the country, Notre Dame's at 2, Bama's at 3, Georgia at 4, and Clemson is at 5. So it looks like Ohio State has 16 commits in the class. Notre Dame 21, 16 for Bama, 13 for Georgia, as well as 13 for Clemson. So congrats to everybody that's involved in this for getting this together, and just the coaching staff as a whole. I mean, it's a loaded class right now, so that should be a fun cycle of players to come through Ohio State. Another fun player that we've seen come through Ohio State and do some really good things is TreVeyon Henderson, and TreVeyon was on the Bobby Carpenter show, and here's TreVeyon talking about his journey here as a Buckeye.
It's been really good, man. You have a lot of ups and downs, throughout my college career, but, I'm so thankful, for the opportunities that God has blessed me with. I'm so thankful that everything he's took me through and allowed me to go through, it helped develop me, as the person I am today and the player I am today, man. But I'm so thankful to be here, at Ohio State, one of the best universities, in the country. So, it's truly a blessing.
CB, let's go ahead and play that second one as well, and, his answer as to why he decided to come back for another year.
I wanted to lead, man. I wanted to go to the league. That's something I've been working for, all my life, since I've been a kid. That's been a dream of mine. But, I'm so thankful that, God redirected my steps and led me back here, man. It's because, just like physically, do I think I was ready to go to the league? I feel like yes. But just like, spiritually where I was at on my walk with the Lord, I wasn't ready yet. There's still more that he wanted me to go through here. And there's still more, he's not done with me, right here, being back here at Ohio State. And so, man, I just realized that, he want to continue to work through me to lead others to him. And so that's the biggest thing, man, is just allowing God to use me this year, however he wants to use me, however type of player he wants me to be, however type of leader he wants me to be. That's who I want to be, who God calls me to be. And, whatever that looks like, whatever I got to go through again, I'm willing to go through it for his glory.
It seems like TreVeyon's in a really good headspace right now.
That's part about it.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear, is that he's got clarity with what his plan is as an athlete and as a man right now. And we know the talent is sky high. And the NFL is going to be there. They're going to be calling his name at some point in the draft next year.
Yep.
But this year alone, in 2024, man, they keep him upright. And I think with the addition of Quinshon, that's the plan, I would guess, right, is to have these guys get to the end of the road, because this team expects to be in the winner's circle with the roster that they've put together. And if that's going to be the case, I think we all know TreVeyon Henderson is going to be a big piece of that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like I said, for him, he would have had an amazing career here. It's just the injuries have derailed him a little bit, but there's no doubt that he has the ability to absolutely take over a game. And I think having another running back in Quinshon, first of all, that's going to help push each other. Those two are going to compete with each other, not just in practice. It's going to be in the game. It's going to be like, TreVeyon just broke one for 60. Guess what? I'm about to go for 65. That's right. Where I think those two are, and it's good, healthy competition. I think they have a really good relationship amongst the two. Second, he gets a chance to be a part of something special here. Like you say, they built this roster up to that it can be a championship roster. He wants to be a part of that. Since he's been here, it's been down years, if you want to call those that, because obviously you haven't won the game and you haven't won a Big Ten championship in a while. So to be a part of the team that gets things going, gets the ball rolling, winning the Big Ten, winning the game, maybe winning the national championship, that is something that you can stamp on your legacy. And on top of all of those things, you're right, he's going to get his name called at some point. Whether it was last year or this upcoming year, he's still going to get his name called. Hopefully he shows the NFL that he can stay healthy for a full season, because that's the only question mark that he has. He stays healthy for a full season and stay productive, he'll hear his name called even earlier than he would have last year.
No question. That is today's Buckeye Bulletin. Top of the hour, we'll hit you with a deep dive, and then later in the show, we'll talk a little bit about your Cleveland Cavaliers, because some interesting rumors have been coming out of Cleveland about the future of that franchise, all coming up in the last hour of the program. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
Dad, he teaches everything. How to throw, catch, mow the lawn. One day a year is about him. So let's spoil him with an amazing grill from Billiards Plus. Napoleon, Louisiana, and other top brands at great prices. Some with up to 30-year warranties. Do it for Dad. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
So, you've noticed something wrong with your roof. You don't know where to begin. And the thought of finding the right company to handle this important piece of your home is a bit overwhelming. Let Newman Roofing make it easy for you. First, start with a company who has built a trustworthy reputation for the last 32 years. We've got you covered. Then, when you ask us what makes us different from other roofing companies, we can tell you 3 things: our policies, customer experience, and most importantly, our people. At Newman Roofing, we have a team of professionals that take pride in their work, focusing on making sure every single question you ask gets answered thoroughly and thoughtfully, every step of the way. After all, we're here to support you, so you understand what's going on with your roof and you can make the best decision to fit your needs. Let us be the difference for you. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit us online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Big things are happening on the east side.
We're ready to deal. Come negotiate during May's Dealin' Days at Lindsay Honda. Lower payments, better financing, more value for any trade. Shop lindsayhonda.com and see new Hondas with thousands in savings plus many other deals. We'll work hard to get you a payment you can afford. Now during May Dealin' Days at Lindsay Honda.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference.
See lindsayhonda.com for program details.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted it close to town, with a picture window overlooking a yard. And you found it. Now, when you sit down to dinner, you've got front row seats too. Your neighbor's daily pickleball game. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Temps are heating up, and so are the ticket deals this summer with Vivid Seats. Whether it's scoring tickets for a night out at the ballpark or witnessing the rising stars of women's basketball, Vivid Seats has you covered. With a robust rewards program and wide selection of tickets, Vivid Seats makes it easy to score great deals on great seats with a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you the peace of mind for the ultimate fan experience. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Matt Andrews. NBA Finals continue tonight. Game 5. Boston can win the championship, leading 3-1. Coverage at 8 here on The Fan. Luka Doncic of Dallas talking about his team still being in the hunt.
Yeah, we talk about it. I think the most important thing is to show that we believe. I think we showed in Game 4. If not, if we wouldn't believe, we probably wouldn't won that game. So I think obviously the talk is easy to talk about it, but then showing it is another thing. So I think we showed it.
Baseball, the Reds play tonight in Pittsburgh. The Guardians are off. They will welcome in Seattle tomorrow. This update sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Earn a $200 cash bonus at BMI Federal Credit Union when you open a new free checking account at bmifcu.org/free.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Maxima Concrete. Visit MaximaConcrete.com today to schedule your free estimate.
All right, welcome back in. Happy Monday to you. I don't know if there's such thing as a happy Monday, right? Really?
Yes.
Happy Monday. For me, Tuesday's the day where it's just like, blah. Tuesday's the blah day for me.
It's Taco Tuesday.
That's true.
Mondays is great because if the week starts good, it usually ends good. Okay. So you got to start Monday with a smile on your face and be happy to see everybody.
And for what we do, too, coming in to talk about the world of sports.
Well, Friday news dumps. Then you got stuff that happened on the weekend.
Spill on over to Monday.
Yeah.
A lot going on there. You know what else is going on? The Schmitz-Cardale Celebrity Softball Game is coming. Why picnic when you can Schmitnick? And it's presented by Monogram Homes and the U.S. Air Force. It's Saturday, July 20th, 6:30 p.m. at Huntington Park. Current Ohio State football players versus former Ohio State football players. The captains for the former players will be Cardale Jones himself, and for The current players, it will be Emeka Egbuka. Tickets are only $10 and are available today at BuckeyeCruise.com. Again, that is BuckeyeCruise.com, and tickets are only $10. You got it. You in game shape? You ready?
First of all, I'm always in game shape, but I will be hitting the cages a couple days in advance.
Okay. Real quick, guys, I do want to give an update. Our great listeners and viewers over on YouTube corrected me on this. It is not the Jets. The Jets were last season. It's going to be the Bears for Hard Knocks training camp this season.
Okay, so
as Caleb Woods would say, the Bears.
The Bears. He's got like have you seen like the bear claw thing that he's doing?
You like that?
It works. it works. It'll take off though. It'll take off though.
If he does well.
It's kind of a gimmick that I recognize from wrestling though. Like the Dark Order. They did that in AEW. So when I see that, I think about
the Dark
Order, but it'll become the Bears thing, obviously, because he's going to probably blow up and have a good year.
I hope they have a successful season. I do.
They
They
put him in a good position.
They did more for him than they did for Justin. So there you go.
Yeah, Justin's probably looking at them like.
Nah, he's probably looking around like, you know what? I'm good. Because if I make it in Pittsburgh,
make it anywhere.
You got the head coach that's gonna make sure. And
Don't
then
they
you
say
got
that about New York? You can make it in New York.
Make it in New York.
Make it anywhere.
I feel like that in Cleveland. You make it out of Cleveland, you can make it anywhere.
You can make it out of the Muni lot on a Sunday. You can make it anywhere. Some of the stories that I've heard. Let's get to this. One of my favorite pieces of audio coming out of the weekend. It comes from our Uncle Snoop Dogg.
Oh, man.
The D-O-double-G.
Doggy Dog.
Because for whatever reason, Snoop was in Milwaukee this weekend. And I'm assuming. Yeah, he was in Milwaukee. I don't know if he was promoting he has a new gin and juice, I believe.
I have no idea.
Because he's got his own, not his own, but they're partnering with a bowl game that's going to pay athletes to play in the game. I believe they're the first bowl game to do that. And I think it's being sponsored by Gin and Juice. I don't know if it's alcoholic drink or energy drink or whatever, but I know well, it could be infused with that too. Knowing that Uncle Snoop, it could definitely be that too. But Uncle Snoop was in Milwaukee this weekend, and you know who else was in Milwaukee this weekend? CB and I, Cincinnati Reds, were in Milwaukee.
Yeah,
I snuck that in there.
Y'all lost yesterday.
We did lose. We lost 2 in a row, actually. But you know what? That's not the story.
Yeah.
That's not the story. Uncle Snoop was up in the booth, and there was a play that happened, and, Uncle Snoop hit us with a little play-by-play.
I came in where the players come in at, because I'm a player. Get up in there. Oh, he's saying if he can't throw that, he ain't got no arm like that. No, he don't.
He does, though.
No, he don't.
Oh, he does.
Who is that with that rocket?
Ellie De La Cruz.
Oh, Lord.
With a howitzer.
He got a rocket in his pocket. He made that.
First time he laid eyes on Ellie De La Cruz, he made a ridiculous play, and that's what Ellie will do. That's what Ellie will do. Snoop on any microphone is amazing. He popped up at WrestleMania. He did some commentary there. He was, I believe, the host out in L.A. for WrestleMania a couple years ago. It's Unc, man. He's gold.
Snoop has popped up and did some commentary for a couple of things. He always give you a line that you just like, that's it. He's money.
Got a rocket in his pocket. See me play it one more time if you can, because I can't get it. I just love hearing anything Snoop Dogg.
I came in where the players come in at, because I'm a player. Get up in there. Oh, he's saying if he can't throw that, he ain't got no arm like that. No, he don't.
Oh, he does, though.
No, he don't.
Oh, he does.
Who is that with that rocket?
Ellie De La Cruz.
Oh, Lord.
With a howitzer.
He got a rocket in his pocket.
The first one might be the best one. I came in with the players because I'm a player. Man,
he's just being himself.
Yeah, man, he is being
part.
himself. And speaking of Ellie De La Cruz, I mean, it's Kong versus Godzilla type of stuff going on tonight in Pittsburgh, because you get Ellie taking on Paul Skenes.
Oh my God!
First pitch of that game is at 6:40. So if you're just a baseball fan in general or a Reds fan, obviously you'll be locked in. But that'll be must-see TV tonight.
Skenes, boy,
different, man.
It's like everyone is 100 miles.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. We got the College World Series is going on right now. One of the games is about to start, and he was pitching in that last year, and now he's in Major League Baseball.
I'm gonna tell you when I tipped the cap to him.
Yeah,
it was this year. I tipped the cap because He was playing the Dodgers,
Mm-hmm.
and he struck Shohei out. First of all, he struck Mookie Betts out first. Then he struck Shohei out. 3 pitches.
Mm-hmm.
Just 3 pitches.
But what happened after that?
Oh, he took him right over the fence. But
you're right, though.
Right over the fence.
You're right. That was incredible. Yeah, so he's the definition of must-see TV. That is Paul Skenes. Earlier, you and I were reacting to a piece from Pro Football Focus. They put out, a piece that ranked the top 3 players for each squad in the AFC. And for the Browns, it was Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith, and Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. For the Bengals, Joey B, Jamar Chase, Trey Hendrickson. Steelers, TJ Watt, Minka Fitzpatrick, and Cam Hayward. And then for the Baltimore Ravens, it was Lamar Jackson, Roquan Smith, and Kyle Hamilton. What team in the AFC would interest you as far as how they stack things up for the best 3 players for their team? Is there a team that jumps to the forefront of your mind?
Buffalo
Bills.
Because they had a lot of changes. So I know Josh Allen is one.
You would be correct.
But this is the Johnson that's the nickel. Is he on there?
He is not on there, but you're on the right side of the ball, and I will give you this hint.
Is it Von Miller?
It is not Von Miller. And by the way, that may be the worst contract that's been handed out in the NFL over the last couple of years.
He's the reason a lot of people getting fired.
I'm serious.
Cut out of there.
I mean, listen, good for him for getting his money. He timed it up perfectly. A guy post 30 that was having some good years, but the contract that they gave him, they've got nothing from him.
He's stealing.
Yeah, he is.
What's the
first team all ski
master?
master.
D tackle name? The first round pick out of.
It's not Ed Oliver.
Ed Oliver.
Man, when he was at Houston,
he ain't on there.
No, he's not. So the 3 that they picked: Josh Allen, which you got right. Matt Milano, their linebacker,
okay,
and Greg Rousseau, the defensive lineman.
Okay.
The defensive lineman. Ed Oliver at Houston was. I mean, it looked like the next coming of Aaron Donald.
Listen, he played the game with an attitude for sure. And he was like that even his first year. He actually ain't been bad in the NFL at all. He's actually been pretty good.
He just set the bar so high.
Yeah, he did.
He set the bar so high because he just looked like one of those guys that was going to be in the middle of the defensive line, just Pro Bowl after Pro Bowl, a couple All Pros there. And it's just he's been good, though, to your point, just not great.
If they can get something out of Von Miller,
I need to.
They got a D line that's crazy. Ed, Greg, and Von. That's.
I know, but now you're asking Von Miller at 34, 35 years old,
did it.
coming off an ACL injury in November. The contract they hit him with going into the 2022 season, 6 for $120. It was the years that surprised. 6 years for $120 for Von Miller.
Well, you got to think they were desperate at this time because they kept losing to the Chiefs.
Right.
And it was because they didn't have that pass rush. So they figured that Von would be that missing piece and they could at least get a Super Bowl out of this.
That's a good call. I think that's absolutely correct in you saying that. Another AFC team for you that you would be interested in seeing how Pro Football Focus racked up the top 3 players for them.
I'm going to go with the Chargers. They got some changes, too.
A lot of changes.
Justin Herbert.
No question.
Oh, Joey and Derwin James.
So Joey and Derwin James are in their category of also considered. So you're in the ballpark.
Wow, they not on there.
You're in the ballpark. I think for Joey, it's just the availability. And Derwin, both of them, right? Honestly, over the last few years.
Is it the tackle Slater?
Rashawn Slater from Northwestern.
Okay. Yep. Is the other person on the defensive side of the ball?
He is.
Khalil Mack.
Yes, sir. So it's Justin Herbert, Rashawn Slater, and Khalil Mack.
What is Oakland? Vegas.
I think you can get you know one. You know 2.
Devontae Adams.
Yeah, you know another one.
I know another. Max Crosby.
Who I think might win Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh, is it the D tackle that they just acquired?
No, it's not Christian Walker. They're not counting first year guys like that. It's a tackle. It's Colton Miller. I don't even left tackle for them. I think Max Crosby's going to win Defensive Player of the Year.
I think it's going to be Micah Parsons.
Ooh.
He's overdue. That's why.
No. That's a good call.
I think that's why Miles kind of got it because it was like overdue.
Yeah, kind of the narrative thing. Yeah, that happens.
Come on now. This is one of the best dudes athletically. Could give it to him.
So the odds right now over at Bet365, you have the favorite.
Michael Parsons?
Yeah, you have the favorite.
Sure I do.
At plus 500. And then after that, Myles Garrett, Nick Bosa, TJ Watt, and Max Crosby are all tied at plus 700.
That's crazy.
I just think
I could see either one of them 4 getting it.
Oh my, because TJ and Myles are just
And then on top of that, Aiden Hutchinson going to end up popping up.
That's a great call. He's next in line at plus 14. He's 14-1, tied with Josh Allen down in Jacksonville at 14-1.
That's a good name right there.
I just think with Max Crosby in Vegas, because you mentioned Christian Wilkins, like he's going to get so much attention in the middle of the D-line talking Wilkins that Max is going to stumble into some more one-on-ones, and I just think he's a monster. He is an absolute menace out there in Vegas.
I don't disagree with that. I tell you what, if Mike Hall comes in and provides a pass rush from the D tackle spot, Miles will get a lot of more sacks.
Right, because you were talking about this earlier with Za'Darius, how he just had 5.5 sacks. But to your point, just about if you get a couple other guys to grab the attention of the offensive line.
Well, Miles never really had that dominant defensive tackle. Like you could say with T.J. Watt, him and Cam Hayward on the same side, it's unfair because you can't. And on top of that, nobody double teams T.J. Watt, but because they got to worry about Cam Hayward. If Mike Hall or whoever the D, Dalvin Tomlinson, anybody, if they had that D tackle that caused that much attention, and Miles had to be singled up like that, that's ridiculous.
It's always a great reminder for me when I go look at the sack production from last year. Trey Hendrickson, tied for second in the league.
I know.
17.5. Like he just quietly, those couple years in New Orleans.
That's why he wanted more money.
Of course, but
he shouldn't have signed an extension.
You nailed it.
He handicapped himself.
You nailed it right there. Sneaky one too, though, because he's on a good team, is Danielle Hunter.
Yeah, he's with the Texans. He's opposite of Will Anderson.
But what's interesting is at Bet365, Will Anderson has better odds than Danielle Hunter. Will Anderson's at 30-1.
That's because Danielle Hunter did it with the. Like he had his numbers was crazy, but like if you look at like the way he graded out like PFF, it was absolutely terrible. So I don't know what it is.
But either way,
I think he's a pass. I think he doesn't play the run right. I think that's what it is.
Okay, well either way in Houston, DeMeco Ryans has his hands on a couple pass rushers that, especially with what you think that offense could be, getting points up early and then late in games they can hunt. Houston,
if I'm telling you, man, they could knock off. They could be right in that championship game.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Be shocked.
Would not surprise me. Coming up in pre-snap reads, one of the biggest names that moved to a different team this offseason talks about that transition. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Common Man and T-Bone are idiots. You should listen to them anyway.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan, Ohio's idiot destination.
At Hollywood Casino Columbus, you're always in the driver's seat. Don't miss our $50,000 trucker cash giveaway at Hollywood Columbus. Pick between driving off in a brand new 2025 Ram 1500 or $40,000 in Penn slot play or $30,000 in cash. Grand prize awarded on Saturday, June 29th. Earn entries on your slot and table gameplay all month long. For more information, visit HollywoodColumbus.com. Must be 21 or over to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Ohio, ready for some quick mental health facts? Let's go. Nearly 2 million Ohioans live with a mental health condition. In the U.S., more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness in their lifetime. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide. So why are some of us still stigmatizing people living with a mental health condition when we know all of this? Let's listen to the facts and beat the stigma. Ohio, challenge what you know about mental health at beatthestigma.org.
A healthy body needs good food. This summer, the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce is sponsoring Sun Meals, a summer food program where kids eat free. Children under 18 receive healthy meals and no sign-up is required. Locations may be right in your neighborhood. Call 1-866-348-6479 or visit education.ohio.gov/kidseat for meal locations and times. That's education.ohio.gov/kidseat.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Boss on your back? Break away from the office and head on over to Delaware Golf Club. Grab a group, play 18, and afterwards unwind with a drink by the Fire Pit Bar and Patio. Online booking makes it easy to secure your tee time. So come check out Central Ohio's home for premier golf at Delaware Golf Club.
Hello, loyal listener. Make sure to spend your summer with The Fan. Are you going on a road trip? Don't suffer through the bad playlists and hillbilly radio stations. Download The Fan app and take us with you. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. I need you to listen up real quick. One of the largest manufacturers in the United States for CPAP machines recently announced they're suspending sales of all their breathing machines over problems with the devices. Millions of Philips Respironic ventilators and CPAP machines are being recalled now that they've reached a plea agreement with the FDA. That all doesn't sound good. And maybe you're thinking, yeah, that's why I'm not going to deal with my sleep apnea because I don't want to have a bulky CPAP. Well, this is where you need to call my guy, Dr. Mark Levy. Dr. Mark Levy has dedicated his practice to helping people who suffer from sleep apnea, and he can create a custom mouthpiece for you that stops your snoring and effectively treats your sleep apnea with no CPAP machine. Yeah, he's in network with most major medical insurers and is a Medicare provider too. This is Dr. Mark Levy's passion. He's been doing this a long time. He wants to help you with your sleep apnea and also make it so your partner doesn't want to murder you dead because you snore so much. So do what I did. Call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or book an appointment online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Do you know someone struggling to figure out their mental health benefits? The Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office is here to help. Find us at insurance.ohio.gov/GETMHIA or call us at 855-438-6442. Don't wait. The Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office can help you figure out what mental health insurance benefits may be in their plan. Call us today at 855-438-6442.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Going 95 for the high temperature later on this afternoon. A lot of sunshine, but there will be a few rounds of showers and thunderstorms. As we go into tomorrow, look for highs again around 95, 96. Heat indices up over 100. And then by Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, highs will be between 95 and 100. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your Doppler 10 forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by the Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, welcome back in. Before we get to some Bet365 action and some NFL news, if you missed the program earlier, we brought up the story of a guy named Joe DeLeon. He is a college football analyst and NFL draft analyst, and he finished last in his fantasy football league from last year. And his punishment was he had to either sit at McDonald's for 24 hours or eat his way out of McDonald's using things on the menu as kind of a point system that would reduce his minutes. So if you ate a double cheeseburger, that would reduce the minutes by 45. So the programming update that we have for you is Joe is going to join the program on Thursday at 1:33 to talk about his McDonald's experience and a lot more. Cannot wait. That might be the highlight of my week.
He's an analyst.
College NFL draft analyst, college football.
Came in dead last.
That's fantasy, though.
No, it's not.
Fantasy is a mess, man.
No, it's not.
Because sometimes it's injuries, and then sometimes you're going up against somebody that just has a dude that goes off. It's really nothing you could do.
I won my fantasy last year.
Oh, look at you.
It was only because Amari Cooper went bonkers against Houston because I was dead to rights. He dropped 50 for me to win. I said, yes.
I was watching that game like, Amari, is it that easy?
The Browns should pay him just solely because he helped me win fantasy.
Doesn't sound like they are, but I'll pay the man. Pay the man his money.
If they pay, I can see it both ways. From a business standpoint, I can see it both ways. If they pay him, I would get that. If they don't pay him, I get that as well.
Let's talk a little bit about some money over at Bet365, because at Bet365, we don't do ordinary. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. And also want to let you know that Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. Download the Bet365 app today. Guardians are off. You have your eyes on something that involves CBs and ours Cincinnati Reds. Our Reds are taking up.
First of all, you're not going to put CB in yours. CB is a proud guardian.
He has the Reds hat on.
That's because he just wants to show his support.
Okay,
but
just seeing if I can sneak that one by
at his heart, he's a guardian. Don't put him in your stuff.
Okay, whatever. So you're looking at Paul Skenes tonight.
But listen,
and I don't like what you're doing.
I'm sorry. I apologize to you, and I apologize to all my Cincinnati Red fans. I'm not necessarily saying that the Pirates are going to win the game. That's not where I'm going. Paul Skenes over under is 8.5. Set at 8.5.
Yeah, it's 8.5.
He getting 9 strikeouts. It's just what it is.
It's 8.5. The juice for the over, which is where you are, is plus 128. The under is minus 160.
I'm telling you right now, he getting at least 10 strikeouts today.
That's crazy.
I'm sorry.
That is absolutely.
I still love you, though.
Ridiculous. I love you, too. I love you, too. What am I going to do tonight? We got game, what is this, 5
Won't you predict a home run?
No, I'm not messing around. With him on the mound? Yeah, I'm not messing around with that at all. I'm going to the NBA Finals tonight, and I'm looking at Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
Kyrie Irving, he was horrible in the first couple games in Boston.
Yeah, he was.
He's coming back for some retribution tonight.
This a big thing because he ain't did nothing good since he stumped on the head.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. But I'm looking at his threes made for tonight.
What is it at, 2.5?
2.5. The juice on the over is plus 110. I'm rocking with Uncle Drew right there. I'm rocking with Uncle Drew.
I think he'll have that in his mind because they won the game because I think he was successful from Trey. I think he hit like 4 of them or something like that.
So give me the over. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
So the Washington Commanders, they were very excited coming out of the NFL draft because they feel like they found their franchise quarterback in Jaden Daniels. The guy won the Heisman Trophy, put up absolutely bonkers numbers with Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas and company, and it sounds like Tyvis, they got a couple tackles that are going to be at LSU this year that are going to be first-round picks next year. So just kind of shines a light on how elite that offense was. They picked him second overall, but I like some of the other moves that they've made this offseason. One of those moves was bringing in a veteran running back in Austin Ekeler, and here is Austin Ekeler talking about his transition from being a Charger to now being a Commander.
What was the conversation with Jim and company? How could you possibly be a misalignment when you can do everything?
Well, I think you can kind of see how they've been building the team so far this offseason. Went out and drafted, a tackle first round, brought in some bigger backs over from Baltimore. And so it's like, hey, they want a guy they can hand the ball off to 300 times a year. And look, I haven't had that capacity to do that. That's not my game. That's not how Austin Ekeler is going to be the best on the field. So there was the misalignment there, which no harm, no foul. I'll go find somewhere else where I can, add value where Austin can be the best version of myself out there.
It's an interesting fit because he mentions kind of the style of running back over in Washington. They have Brian Robinson Jr. that I'm sure will kind of be the hammer, if you will, there. But I do think that the duo there coming out of the backfield behind Jaden Daniels, they got a chance to be pretty good.
I think it's the whole makeup is pretty sneaky good. It just ultimately comes down to the player that Jaden Daniels is. And, Jaden Daniels still can provide plays with his legs as well. So you got a nice 1-2 punch with those two running backs. You still got Scary Terry. You got Jahan Dotson, who's really – he needs to probably take off and have a really good year. So the weapons is there offensively. They just got to put it all together.
I agree. I think there's a chance that they could be kind of Houston light from last year. Maybe not as
well. If Jaden Daniels locked in at quarterback, they could win more games than a lot of people think.
Right. And I guess what I mean when I say Houston light is just the guys that you mentioned will look so much better because I think the talent is there. Terry has shown us that he's a guy, right? He's an absolute stud.
It doesn't even matter who the quarterback is.
There you go. So, right. And I think Jaden's going to be the most talented quarterback he's played with in Washington because I think you bring up a good point with Jaden's skill set is when you combine that with Cliff Kingsbury as offensive coordinator, who was cooking with Kyler in Arizona when he won Rookie of the Year, they got a chance, I think, to be not an easy out, right? He's still a rookie quarterback, and it's a tough division with two really good teams, especially with what I think Philly's going to be in Dallas. You got to respect them as well. It's going to be hard to climb out of that division, but I think their offenses can go into certain weeks and put up some pretty good points.
I think that I think at the beginning of the season, it's going to be still a process of trying to figure out how the NFL works. But I think once probably around the halfway mark, I think they figure out who they are. They trust in the plays that's being called. They see the potential of everybody. And I think they win a lot of games in the second half of the season that they weren't supposed to win.
First couple games for them. I mean, it's at Tampa. I know they were a playoff team and won a playoff game. The Giants, and they got to come to Cincinnati, which is going to be tough for Monday Night Football. Then it's the Arizona Cardinals. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they
going to be cooking on that Cardinals.
He's going to be locked in.
Right.
And it's in the desert, too.
He's going to be down in trying to win that game.
It's going to be absolutely crazy out there. But then it gets, it's the Browns, the Ravens, and then Carolina and the Bears. But, I think those first 4 games, I wouldn't be surprised if they can come out of those 2-2. Yeah, Tampa will probably get them first game in the league, especially because Baker and those guys had that chemistry from last year. But that Giants game, I mean, who the heck's playing quarterback for them?
Danny Downs. Yeah. Malik Neighbors.
He the best option for them?
Danny Downs?
No, yeah.
Ain't got no choice. Is Tommy DeVito still there?
No, they got Tommy out of there. It's Drew Lock, I believe.
Is the backup?
Yeah, I think they brought in Drew Lock.
Is Drew sneaky now? Drew could be.
That's what I'm saying.
Right but up, and Drew be out there with the Buzz Lightyear.
Don't you think it's follow the money with Danny? Like the front office, listen, we paid Danny Dimes.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you got. I mean, yeah, he got lucky too. He had that good year and left him with no choice.
Yeah, it's just tough though. Like in that division, man, because the Giants offensively are sexy, but their D line.
It's crazy.
They brought in Brian Burns.
I know.
Dexter Lawrence.
Kayvon Thibodeau. I said they got 3 elite pass rushers. That's
the thing for Jane Daniels. In that game, in your second game in the league, you got to deal with that D-line. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. But I think, to your point, later in the year, there'll be a nice little offense. Those are your pre-snap reads for today. Coming up next, up in Cleveland, we got some news coming out of the Cavaliers facility, and it's maybe a little hint at something Donovan Mitchell wants to happen this offseason. We'll tell you what that is after the break. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
It was spring of 2011. Eco Plumbers were just 4 years old. It's 7-ish p.m., and my sister is at her daughter's soccer game.
And I had my tablet in the bleachers with a Magic Jack USB stick.
Magic Jack was cutting edge back then.
Being able to schedule customers for the next morning service right from the bleachers was awesome.
It was this neat hack that let us provide after-hours, in-house call answering, and scheduling back when no other plumbers did that.
Now we run calls as late as 9 p.m. and we'll answer your call 24/7. You can even schedule online.
We always leverage technology to come through for you when you need us to.
Take EcoFi cleaning checks.
Advanced software, sensors, and tablets show the health and efficiency of your system.
And possible trouble spots.
Before we start the cleaning and maintenance, so you can see the before and after improvements for yourself.
Anyone can use technology.
But only Eco Plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians use it to constantly upgrade their ability to serve you.
At GetEco.com.
It's a great feeling doing business with John Henderson Honda.
It's a great feeling doing business means we're one of the highest rated nationally in customer service. We have one of the largest selections of Hondas, and we make service simple with car convenience and mobile service, all while serving Central Ohio for over 30 years. John Hinderer Honda, Route 79 in Heath, or HindererHonda.com. Open Sundays.
It's a great feeling doing business with John Hinderer Honda.
Common Man and T-Bone here for the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
It's our absolute favorite place to go for that live VIP sportsbook experience. 12,000 square feet of sportsbook action. 2 huge walls of TVs, not to mention delicious food and drink. But your experience can be even better if you download the Penn Play app.
Yep, you can get up to $140 in rewards. It's so easy, dummies like us can do it. Got to download the free Penn Play app today and cash in your bonuses. Plus, you never know, and you'll see Man and I lurking around.
I'm lurking. Must be 21 or over. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Morning Juice.
What is more American than gluttony? Eating just for eating's sake, not for survival, just to engorge yourself, sucking dogs down your throat.
Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Affinity Whole Health.
Weekday mornings at 6. The Fan.
The Columbus Men's Clinic opened in 2014 for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken. But when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At the Columbus Men's Clinic, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for a decade. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. You'll be seen by our friendly, discreet physician who will take the time to listen. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. Imagine going from feeling gray to living life in vibrant color. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 614-300-7400 or go to ColumbusMen'sClinic.com to schedule a $99 male performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. ColumbusMen'sClinic.com. Book your appointment now.
Hey, welcome to the IKEA Midsummer Sale. Hello. Save up to 50% on outdoor furniture and indoor essentials and have your best summer.
Oh, how about storage for my inflatable flamingos?
We've got you covered. Let's turn your space into a summer haven with space for birds.
Awesome.
Visit us in store from June 12th to July 9th or at IKEA-USA.com/midsummer. Offer valid dates may vary. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary by store and online. See store and IKEA-USA.com/midsummer for complete terms. Restrictions apply.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Get wings the way you want them. Try Twin Peaks wings bone-in breaded, naked, smoked and grilled, or boneless in your favorite sauce or rub.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Their cholesterol numbers put all other fan hosts to shame. You were listening to Rothman and Ice.
Welcome back in. Matty Ice got my man Tyvis Powell, the people's champ, filling in for AR today. It's a perfect day for some ice cream. Like, a perfect day.
Well, my wife and kids decided to go to like a splash park.
Okay.
Didn't, wait until I went to work and decided to do that.
Daddy's gone. Now we have fun.
Yeah. That's how it works. That's how they do me at the Powell residence.
If you sent me out to get ice cream for you, what would I be coming back with?
So as of lately, I've been in the Wits ice cream lately. Wits is right by my house, so I've been into them lately. Okay. They always got some wild flavors, but they got this Cookie Monster flavor that's delicious. Ooh. They got the cookies and cream that's crazy. Mm-hmm. Wits is like you really can't miss with some Wits.
You a hot fudge guy?
I eat hot fudge.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you going like Dairy Queen, I'm just gonna get like a Blizzard.
That always
with the high, but I don't think they do the Royal Oreo shake or not shake. Blizzard used to have a hot fudge down the middle of the Blizzard.
See, I think I must have been asleep on that. I must have missed that because sometimes with hot fudge, I just need plain vanilla ice cream.
Okay, that's fine.
I like a hot fudge. Maybe it's a couple peanuts, crumbs on there.
Those
too.
Sprinkles or nothing.
I'm not. Let's see. Here's my take on sprinkles.
My kids love them, so
I think sprinkles, and I haven't had sprinkles in a very long time.
Me either, but my kids eat it.
But if I'm remembering correctly, there's not much flavor to them. No. It's more of an aesthetic thing, like just for the eyes. Exactly. So it's kind of chalky. I think
give you a little crunch.
Yeah, I'd rather get my crunch with like an almond, like with some peanuts or something, some chocolate chips or something like that with a little bit of flavor to it,
I'm not mad at you. I'm more of an Oreo cookie crunch type of guy.
That happened, man. I used to do that as a kid, like at the house, just because we always had like vanilla bean, like velvet vanilla bean ice cream all the time. And so my dad and I love cookies and Oreos. And my dad's a huge cookie head. Like he's always eating cookies. And I would just take the Oreos, put them in a napkin, or one napkin, one on top, some Oreos in between, and just crunch them up. Just sprinkle that on, man, with some hot. Oh my goodness! Like that's all you need, man. That's all you need. That
was my go-to at the Woody. So when you do training table here, they give you the healthy ice cream, but they give you like the toppings around it. So I would always do that and then get some cookie.
That's the move right there. You talking like vegan ice cream?
It wasn't vegan ice cream. It was like custard. It wasn't. Okay. So it was like
gelato.
Yeah.
Okay. Isn't that what they call it? Gelato? I don't know. Maybe so. But I'm picking up what you're putting down. Let's go up to Cleveland because, look, we got the NBA Finals. Game 5 is tonight. It's over, right? It's ring night for the Celtics, right?
I mean, the 18th. At some point, the 18th banner is going up. I think it's tonight. I mean, you want to celebrate at home in front of your fans. I think it's just going to be special. But if the Dallas, like I said, the Mavs would have to come out and play very similar to how they play. It can't be Luka and Kyrie.
No.
It just
balance. They need some balance
because the Celtics just have too much. So I think if they can get Tim Hardaway, they can get Dante Exum. Max Keebler off the bench. Like, if they get them contributions from those guys, all right, then we got ourselves a game here. But if it's going to be just Luka and then Kyrie, like, they're going to lose.
It's probably over. I think it absolutely, I don't want to say absolutely. If Porzingis doesn't play, then things could get a little interesting. But I think I'm with you. At some point in time, that banner's going up in Boston. But over in Cleveland, the Cavs have a lot to figure out this offseason. They got rid of J.B. Bickerstaff. I don't know how you felt about that. I mean, we know in the NBA, the coaches are always going to take the fall. I'm like, man, I don't know what else you want from the guy. I mean, it had a team in the top 5 and in the standings the last 2 years, a bunch of injuries this year, and you go elsewhere. But who knows? You know, there's a lot of,
I think that my thoughts on the JB thing is you can make a reason for firing them and you can make a reason for keeping them. I think that it just depends on who you are. Me, it didn't matter to me. I mean, I think that at some point you had to ask yourself, can you win a championship with this guy? That's the question. And I think that people seen that it was too many times that the offense just looked absolutely stagnant. It was give the ball to Donovan and just stand there and watch. And I think people got tired of that. But in the same breath, Donovan wasn't on the floor that last game of the Celtics series. And the Cavs put together some really impressive games in Donovan's absence. And that has to come from coaching. And you'll think to yourself, wow, they actually fired a guy who did that. Even during the regular season, he didn't have all 4 of his guys, and he still somehow was able to win games. So you give him credit for that. But at the end of the day, can you win the championship with him as the coach? And I don't think the answer was yes.
I think that's the appropriate question to ask, and your statement of you could go down either lane there with him, I think is the right assessment too. So one of the latest reports real quick in the coaching realm, it seems like there's some momentum behind James Borrego, who was a head coach at a couple different stops and was under Greg Popovich in San Antonio where they were winning championships. So that's a name to watch out for there because Chris Fedor from Cleveland.com had some reporting on him recently. But one of the biggest things that they have to tackle is the Donovan Mitchell situation. And he has not recommitted to Cleveland long-term just yet, but I think they're going to do everything in their power to keep him happy. And one of those moves that may keep him happy is the report that comes from Mark Stein. And he says, quote, one reason I've heard for the Cavaliers' reported reluctance to trade Jared Allen despite ongoing questions about Allen's fit in the same front court alongside the emerging Evan Mobley is Donovan Mitchell is often described as an Allen fan who doesn't want to lose him as a teammate. So when I hear something like that, you know what that tells me? Jared Allen's going to be a Cleveland Cavalier.
See, I don't think so.
Because they're not going to do anything, in my opinion, to ruffle the feathers of Donovan Mitchell, and especially before he recommits to the franchise.
I hear what you're saying, and I hear what he's saying. But in the same breath, if you're flipping that Jared Allen piece for a piece that's going to help you better in the championship, win the championship, you'll be thankful for that. And I don't think you really would say something. Say if you flipping that piece for Brandon Ingram. Say you flipping that piece for Kyle Kuzma. Somebody like that can come in here and be an impact offensively, and that can get you some stuff defensively because Evan Mobley showed you he could play the center position, and you can get a guy that stretches the floor, so you ain't necessarily worried about Evan taking the next development and becoming a shooter because you got to stretch 4. You'll be quiet. I think you'll be all right with that move.
What you said is logically based. But you also know how the NBA operates. And what the superstar wants.
So the superstar is okay with getting it. Because they say if you tend to do the same thing over and expect for a different result, that's called insanity.
You were correct in saying that. But we've got a lot of history that shows us that more times than not, especially in a situation like this where a franchise is caught with pleasing him financially and when it comes to roster construction, I would be surprised if they go against his wishes in saying this and that. But in saying that, what you said about the basketball stuff on the floor, what it could look like on the other side, I'm with you. Okay, I'm with you. You could talk me into that. I think one of the biggest things that jumped out to me with what you said, which with what I don't know is a certainty yet, is can Evan play the 5 consistently for an entire NBA season? That I don't know. The defensive stuff is there. The offensive stuff is still in flux. But I do think with what you said, whether it's a Kuzma, Ingram, or more shooting or whatever it may be, that may be a better construction for the Cavs.
I will pose this to you, and I think you'll agree with me because you're a sane guy.
Sometimes.
So everybody says we need Jared Allen for when we go against those really good centers.
How's that worked out?
My thing is those really good centers that you're talking about, they're going to get 40 or 50 no matter who's checking them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can flip that piece – because it doesn't matter. You could get somebody that you keep on the bench. Like you can get some old center that you can use for when you play that guy. You don't need him every night, but when you play those big time centers, you'll need him for that.
I hear you.
You can get that. But if Jared Allen's hot and you can flip him for something, you absolutely do that right now. Unless you want to keep the core 4, you tell Donovan, all right, well, you get with Evan and you make sure that he comes back next season shooting shots.
I hear you. I absolutely hear you. And what was odd was what came out right after they lost, when the report was that if Donovan comes back, Darius may want out. So I don't know what's going on up there. Hopefully that was an untrue report. Because
I can't say that because I work with Jason Lloyd tomorrow, and Jason Lloyd was a part of that article, and Jason tells me that was 100% true.
There you go.
So we'll see.
Well, we shall see. We'll hit the finish line of the show next with Tell the Truth. Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
The only radio show Ryan Day listens to when we're holding him hostage, making him listen to a radio show. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
Hey guys, Andy Katzenmoyer for Game Day Men's Health. Struggling with low energy, lack of focus, and trouble in the bedroom? You might have low testosterone. Game Day is here to help. They specialize in low T and other treatments just for men, like vitamin therapy, sexual wellness, and weight loss. Best of all, it's quick. Get started in as little as one visit. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com/thefan to book your free low T test today. That's GameDayMen'sHealth.com/thefan.
Hey, it's Anthony here for the Good Feet Store. You know, we do a segment on the show every week called Pressure, but that's about sports. What about the pressure your feet endure every day? I know mine did. When I went to the Good Feet store, I learned I was out of line. I joked, I already know that. They said, no, physically, my feet weren't being supported the right way. So when I went to the store on Polaris Parkway, they also have one on Stringtown Road, I took all the time I needed to walk around the store to see what felt and fit the best in my shoes. Once I had them in, my personal arch supports from the Good Feet store, my lower back pain went away. What a feeling. You need to get your free personalized fitting by one of their arch support specialists. For arch supports to be effective, they require a precision fit. That's why Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store. You like them? You can wear them home. You have nothing to lose but the pain. So go to goodfeet.com today or go in and try the Good Feet feeling. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief, all from the Good Feet store.
Take 5 Car Wash has out-of-this-world membership prices. Get unlimited washes every month for the price of one wash. Pay for one wash and wash as much as you'd like every month until you move to Mars. You won't need a car there, right? Wait, will you? Anyways, join Take 5 Unlimited today.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Summer is full of family fun, strawberry picking, little Johnny's baseball games, warding off shark attacks on the beach.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
When you get sick of all that crap, turn to us. Download the Fan app and take us with you. The Fan.
Now at White Castle, you can get 12 chicken rings for just $3.99. Tender on the inside, crispy on the outside. Choose from classic, Hidden Valley Ranch, or new smoky barbecue. White Castle. Follow your crave. Limited time only at participating castles. Tax not included.
This is Ice-T, repping Raising Cane's Iced Tea, the official iced tea of iced tea. Brewed throughout the day and perfectly poured over Cane's signature crush ice makes Cane's Iced Tea the only iced tea as fresh as me. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
I joke around and with my wife and call it my bionic knee.
But before Ernest became a patient with QC Kinetics, it was a different story.
I'd go to bed with my knee throbbing, heat, ice. I would get up in the middle of the night to get a drink or something, and I would just be hobbling.
He wasn't able to play on his rec basketball team or work in the yard. But QC Kinetics regenerative treatments turned around the situation without surgery or downtime, using Ernest's own healing properties to help restore his aching knee, now known as Ernest's Bionic bionic knee.
I am really happy because I am playing the game that I love so much, and I'm playing with my granddaughter, and I'm gardening, and I'm on my knees, and I'm jumping up. I have a 200-pound dog, and I'm playing with my dog.
Now Ernest is living his best life thanks to QC Kinetics, and so can you. Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Hey, it's Anthony here for the Bath Authority. You spend a ton of time in your bathroom, and if you're trying to ignore your old, outdated bath or shower or that mold and mildew along with the broken tiles, you got to call my friends at the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products along with a world-class customer experience. And all Bath Authority products are 100% made in the USA, and they can be installed in as little as 1 day by certified factory technicians. TheBathAuthority.com. A better bath awaits.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
All right, CB, it is your segment from one Reds fan to another. What Tell the Truth questions do you have for us
It might
today?
be my segment, but this might be your question. Whoever made the National Day of Today was thinking of you when they made it because it is National Eat Your Vegetables Day. My question is, tell the truth. What is your favorite veggie?
It's broccoli all day and tomorrow.
That's funny because that's exactly what I was going to say.
Broccoli all day and tomorrow. I think it plays well. A lot of vegetables do, but for me personally, it plays very well with a bunch of proteins. Like I know a lot of people are a fan of, asparagus, Brussels sprouts. Not an artichoke guy, but yeah, broccoli is just it works for me, man. It absolutely works. So
when it's done right, and it's so many, you could put cheese on it, you could sprinkle Parmesan on it. It's so many different ways. It's so many different ways to dress up broccoli. But if I want to be different, if you're going to take broccoli, am I allowed to take potato? Is potato a vegetable?
It's a starch, I believe.
You could bake potato, ain't no vegetable.
No, I don't think that qualifies. I'm trying to think of the pyramid as a kid. You remember when they had that?
I'm looking
at Is that right? I think potato qualifies as not let's see what Google has to say. I mean, Google's not always right, but we'll see.
I mean, it just depends on what I'm eating. I could go with asparagus. I mean,
that's a win.
Steak and a filet and asparagus every time does the job.
Okay. It does look like it says in the United States, the government sorts food into 5 categories: dairy, fruit, grains, protein, and vegetables. Potatoes are currently classified as a vegetable.
Oh,
you're good.
There it is.
You're
good. Baked potato. There
you're
you
good.
Go.
What are we putting on our baked potato?
Oh, I want it loaded. Sour cream. I ain't doing the onions or the chives.
Oh, man. You don't like the chives? You're not an onion guy. I forgot. Yeah, you're not an onion guy.
I'm doing sour cream, cheese, butter.
I hit you with some bacon bits.
Bacon bits for sure.
Okay.
And that's it. That's all you need.
There we go. But yeah, you're in the clubhouse. I guess potatoes is a veggie.
You can't handle the truth. All right, I don't know how much of, or if any, you saw the Sunday night baseball game on ESPN. It was the Red Sox-Yankees, and they had Juan Soto out in the field on the little earpiece talking to the guys back up in the booth, doing an interview while playing in the field. Now, we've seen that a lot in the All-Star game. I'm seeing a little bit more in actual regular season games like this. My question to you is, tell the truth. Would you be able to play the field and also multitask with an interview like that if you were Juan Soto?
Absolutely. Easily. I mean, because in the field, if you out in the outfield, your action is kind of...
Could be limited.
It could be limited. So you could actually have a great conversation. But on top of all of that, if I see the ball hit, it's not like my attention is gone. Like I'm answering the question, but I can talk and look and track a ball down.
Which is what he had to do last night.
I'll be right while I'm doing the whole interview. I'll be like, and such and such, and catch a routine fly. Yeah, that's easy.
And I think baseball is the only sport you could get. Football, no chance, right? No chance that you could have like Joe Buck in your ear at safety.
No,
like,
you got to lock in.
Yeah, no chance. Basketball, you're huffing and puffing up and down the floor.
Yeah, you be out of gas. You can
do it in golf.
Yeah, golf.
You could get away with it in golf, but if we're sticking, let's say, with the big 3, if you will.
Yeah, no.
Baseball is the one.
Yeah.
Baseball is the one. I've seen it in the infield. I was watching a Rangers game one time, CB. on ESPN for Sunday Night Baseball, and I think it was Josh Young, their third baseman. He had a ground ball hit to him, and he pulled it off well. But, yeah, you're right. Like, outfield, especially if you got a ground ball pitcher up there, you might go a couple innings without, getting a fly ball. So I think it's a pretty cool aspect, right? You're taking us fans inside the ropes, if you will, there, and getting to some live action. So I'm here for it. I think I could pull this off. CB, I mean, you kind of talk in our ear every once in a while during the show, and I think I can manage that fairly well. So, yeah, I think I could do it.
Did you say I know my truth?
I know my truth.
All right, I think today's fan poll might be a little bit sobering or sad for you. The question is will Tiger Woods be playing in the 2026 Senior U.S. Open when it's at Scioto Country Club?
Yeah, I don't even like that this question's being asked. I want him just to retire at this point. If I'm being completely honest, I just want my guy to retire. I don't want to see him on the senior circuit. I just don't. But to answer the question directly, oh, man. Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
I think I'm going to have to say yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to argue. It's hard to argue no. I mean, that man, he can't even make the cut right now.
It's tough for my guy. It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, CB. I think he might need to hang it up too, because you don't want to just be out there.
Right.
And then I hate when he does the interview before. I wouldn't be in it if I didn't think that I could win it. And then you go out there and do that, and it just be like, man. They say the athlete is the last person to know when it's time. So
That's true.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
But you the last person to know. Everybody else can see it. It's time.
Right.
He ain't lying. All right, next up, Dan Quinn at minicamp said that he believes Jaden Daniels and Marcus Mariota are in a true quarterback competition, but is he telling the truth?
No.
Yeah, thanks. You take go
Talking
ahead.
about the number 2 pick in the draft. No.
I know. Can we just stop this tradition?
You ain't gotta cut
Can
it
we
out.
stop this tradition in the NFL? Like, the coaches that do this publicly, it drives me insane. Just name the rookie the starter. That we know it's coming. Like
Kevin O'Connell already said that Sam Darnold is going to be the guy heading into training camp.
Here's why I will buy that.
Because he was the 13th pick. We're talking about the second pick of the draft.
It's not even that for me, Tyvis. It's the money that they paid Sam Darnold this year. They paid him 1 year, $10 million. That I will buy into. But some of these coaches that do he's got to earn it. Like, come on, man. Like, this is 2024. Like Tyvis said, a lot of these guys that get picked high, they're playing. So no, Dan Quinn is not telling the truth. I'd be shocked if Jaden Daniels is at the week 1 starter.
If Marcus Mariota run out there, I'd be blown away. I'm not gonna lie to you.
And the truth shall set you free.
If you miss Bill Landis talking Buckeye football or Ben Brown from ESPN Bet talking all things NFL, wherever you get your podcasts, type in Rothman and Ice. Those interviews and a lot more will be waiting for you. And do not forget that you can listen to us through the Fan app as well. Tyvis, appreciate you, big dog.
Oh, no problem. I appreciate you allowing me to fill in for AR.
Hey, man, we love having you around here. CB, great job on the board. Our Reds play here in about 3 hours against Paul Skenes.
Stop doing that.
He's got the hat on. What do you mean?
Take the hat off.
Okay. Well, everybody enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks so much for your time. We're Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Wake up with The Fan. Eat lunch with The Fan. Go to bed with The Fan. Dream about The Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan. This is a Fan Action Update.
This NFL Action Update is brought to you by Tipico, gambling promo code 1-800-GAMBLER. The Philadelphia Eagles are the favorites in the NFC East at plus 115. Their odds to make the playoffs this year are minus 220 and to miss plus 170. Over-under season win total is set at 10.5 games, and the Eagles are 14-1 to win the Super Bowl. Good for the 7th best odds in the NFL. For your Tipico Action Update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
When I'm not voicing Wendy's ads, I'm gaming. I stay up and fueled because Wendy's delivers late.
Are you recording a Wendy's ad? Come on!
Got 'em. Whatever you're up for, we're down. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's Delivery Late Night. Open till midnight or later.
Hours and delivery availability may vary.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
A healthy body needs good food. This summer, the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce is sponsoring Sun Meals, a summer food program where kids eat free. Children under 18 receive healthy meals and no sign-up is required. Locations may be right in your neighborhood. Call 1-866-348-6479 or visit education.ohio.gov/kidseat for meal locations and times. That's education.ohio.gov/kidseat.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
More and more people are falling into problem gambling. Mary Haven's experts offer comprehensive care. You and your loved ones can count on mental, emotional, and financial guidance.
Confidential and judgment-free. Go to Mary